Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the European Programs Department of KEPA, the Business and Cultural Development Center, I would like to warmly welcome you in this final event of CCI4TOURISM ADRION project. I'm Poppy, and together with Stavros from Helenos Consulting, we will be your host today. This event is a hybrid event. We have people attending, dear partners, friends, guests, welcome to, unfortunately, rainy and windy Thessaloniki, and also a very warm welcome to all of you who are watching us online via live streaming. Today's final event of our project has an agenda of combining presentations and experience sharing of all the activities that have been done throughout our project. Before we start with the agenda, I would like to let you know that unfortunately Mr. Alexandros Stanos was not able to be with us today, but I would like to ask Mr. Angelos Charisteas, the Vice Governor of Digital Governance of the region of Central Macedonia, to come to the podium and say a few words.
So, welcome to Thessaloniki. Good morning, everyone. So, introduce myself. I'm Angelos Charisteas, Vice Governor of Digital Governance in the region of Central Macedonia. I was living more than 15 years away from Greece, 8 years in Germany, 5 years in Holland, 1 year in France, and short period in Saudi Arabia. So I have the opportunity to meet and to speak with more than 4 countries people, and I was always my target to be like an ambassador of my country, to present my country. So I remember I started with a short story in Riyadh 2011. I tried to speak to my partners about Thessaloniki, about Macedonia, my country, my place. I didn't have that time opportunity to show specific things and to show our beauty for our country. So I'm happy that 11 years later now I work for our region Central Macedonia, and through our site Visit Central Macedonia we have opportunity to have application right now through digital reality to show our beauty places in Olympos, for example, in center of Thessaloniki. This is very, very important. For us, it's very important also to know what's going on financial. So we have financial data. We create observatory of tourism financial data. So we know what's going on in our region. It's also very important. But to create and to have all these things, we need money. We need all these financial tools. It's very important. And the last week, through our governor, Mr. Kostas, we have the new ESPA 21-27. So we have I heard very important things about tourism and financial tools we have for the next 6-7 years. And so the only things we need is people like you, people like Poppy and Stavros and KEPA, so to use this money to organize our tourism and to show our beauty for our country to everyone. Thank you very much. I wish also, today is 1st of December, I wish everyone to have a nice stay in Thessaloniki, enjoy the time here, and thank you one more time for inviting me.
Thanks, Mr. Charisteas. I would like to say that Angelos, we all call him Angelos because he's a very known, one of the best football players in Greece. And he gave us the pleasure to win our first and only, I think, European Championship in football in 2004. Thanks. I have the honor also to be one of the lead experts for the region of Central Macedonia on the RIST-3 strategy. And following what Mr. Charisteas just said, I want to add that the region has decided to add CCIs and tourism as one of the main priorities for the 2021 to 2027 framework and strategy. So we will try, even though it's not very easy, we'll try to boost investments in CCIs, mainly through innovation, like applications and software and digital tools. So we would like to see CCIs integrate in tourism and in other thematic areas to add value to the ecosystem. And we hope to find more money and more capital on that. Thanks for your presence here, and we hope that the region will also be a crucial member of that.
Okay, so the first part of today's agenda is about tourism and cultural creative industries in Adriatic region. So first of all, we are going to give you an overview of our project, CCI4TOURISM project, that has to do with strengthening entrepreneurial skills of cultural and creative industries for the valorization of cultural heritage and the development of sustainable tourism models in the Adriatic-Ionian regions. I would like to ask Davide De Nicolò from our lead partner, Technopolis Science and Technology Park, TNO, to give us a presentation and the overview of our project.
Thank you very much, and thanks to KEPA, first of all, for having organized this final event. It's really strange for me to say final event, because when we started this project, it was impossible to see the end, because it is yet a project of 30 months. And then, as we can see now, we passed many difficulties due to the general condition. So, where do I have to put? Okay. So my name is Davide De Nicolò, and I am the responsible of the project area of Technopolis, which is a science and technology park in Bari, Puglia region. Like Superman. Okay, this one. Yeah. Okay. So, this is the genesis of the project. This is the genesis of the project. I want to say thank you to a person that is not here today. He lives. This is Saverio d'Eredità of Friuli Innovazione, because in 2018 he called me and said, "Oh, Davide, there will be an ADRION call. What do you think about? We can do maybe something. We can capitalize some results of Atlas project, which is an Italy-Croatia project. What do you think about it?" And that is the email he wrote me on the 24th of April 2018, just to organize a call to talk about this program. Then the ADRION call was launched, and so we decided to participate and to involve all of us. Of course, it was a okay, no, wow, oh, yeah, there is a lack of time, just wait. Okay, this is the target value, all the people and the organization we have reached with this project. This is a project financed by the INTERREG ADRION program. It's about €2 million project. We are 9 partners become from 6 countries. And, oh my God, I pressed 1. Okay, thank you. So we can go. And we start the project with, after a negotiation phase, we decided to start this project on February 2020. On the 25th and 26th of February 2020, and but we didn't know what will happen in the coming days, in the coming weeks. And it was Sunday. I find the message yesterday. It was the 23rd of February when I received a call from another colleague that is not here from RDA Greencast, and she said, "Did you read the email from Angeliki?" And I said, "Oh no, let me check it." And Angeliki on Sunday wrote me that, what about the situation of COVID in Italy? Because we have the kick-off meeting in the coming days. And I said, I called her, if I'm not wrong, and I said, at the moment, there is nothing, because there is just one case in the north of Italy, but at the moment in the south, everything is okay. She said that CEPA will not participate in presence, but they will connect it. The same thing was for Friuli Innovazione, because Friuli Innovazione in those days was closed, not Friuli Innovazione, Friuli was closed, no possibility to travel. And so we decided to organize that kick-off meeting. It was really strange, because my director said, when people arrive, hello, don't touch, welcome, we can touch, we can tag, but we are here. And so we start with this project. The aim of the project is in the title, the CCI for tourism, how CCI, creative and cultural and creative companies can sustain the tourism sector. This is very in general, but we can say how the creative and cultural and creative companies can play a role of key actors for the sustainable tourism. So we start the project with the kick-off meeting on the 25th and 26th of February during COVID, when COVID starts. Then, the weeks later, it was, okay, Poppy, the other one. Okay, sorry, okay, so we will take a minute. So we start with the COVID. It was really strange for us, because we were, all the meetings we do together. When we have to talk with CEPA, for example, yes, we can have an email exchange, maybe a Skype, because we know Skype 2 years ago, maybe a Skype, but it was really better to meet each other and to let's try this one. Okay. Okay, so we try to use this. To use it. Which is the next? This is the next? Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, really sorry. So we connected starting use also other platforms such as GoToMeeting, Zoom. We change WebEx, and we try to change just to find the better solution, the best solution for us. And so this should be each of us, but we know that the reality was this, because we stay at home, dressing, but at the bottom we were like this. So, but that was the situation for all of us. Our children at school, distance learning, Museums start to organize virtual visit, virtual tour. Theater, that was a big problem for all the creative companies. Theater completely empty, and so it was very, very difficult. Then something started to change thanks to the public, because public have money, let's say like this, so public can spend money. This is an example what happened in my city, Bari. Every year, each year we organize the Bari, but we organize the San Nicola, which is the patron, the saint of our city. And this is a nice, really good occasion that the municipality organized without public, but streaming on TV, on websites, on social networks, and he generates millions of viewers from all over the world. And so, how many CCI for tourism, as we said yesterday, not only CCI, but how many CCI for tourism are ready to face this challenge? How could they react? This is the big question. This is a picture I took in Reggio Calabria. It is written in Italian, cercasi clienti, finding customers. It was a guy that was rent Rickshaw, you know, the bicycle for tourists. He was not looking for another worker, but he's looking for customers. So we have to think that creative companies, but companies in general, have to find customer above all. And this is another nice picture. In Italian it is written qui si fattura. Here we bill, here we do invoice. And so this is the opposite side. When you find customer, you have to invoice, you have to get paid to receive the payment. So where we are, what we as a business support organization can do, we are in the middle, because we have to help the creative and cultural companies in the tourism sector to reach the market, not to find the customer, but to reach the market and to get this company in the position of get paid, and so to get paid. Come back to the projects. We have 3 general objectives. The transnational strategy, yesterday we had a very interesting and useful discussion. The transnational action plan 2, thanks for the exercise, it was very, very useful and interesting. And the network of Creative Hub. After me there will be another presentation of Goran, so it will be also this very, very interesting. The key word of this project is the capitalization, because as I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation, we started capitalizing not only one, but many projects, many activities of many different projects. And capitalization is very important now for everything and for people for project managers, because we have to capitalize, we have to get value from something, and we can put this activity in another project to get financing and to continue working in this. And I'm sure that thanks to CCI4TOURISM project, we realized so many activities, very, very interesting. I just mentioned the small activities like, for example, the creative dialogues or the digital upskilling plan or the design thinking workshop or the training or the acceleration. So many activities, really so many activities that we can capitalize, each of us can capitalize in another project. And this is the future. So when we think about CCI4TOURISM, we can think and we can talk about the future, because CCI4TOURISM could be our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Davide. Do you have any questions from the audience online? No? Do we have any questions from the audience here, together here with us? Any comments? No? Thanks for your presentation. It's a great project. Also, congratulations for mentioning your partner that's not here, who initiated the idea. If I could ask you something, what would be, let's say, the main result or the main impact of the project that you are thinking of exploiting or extending for the future?
Well, thank you for the question. I think that we can put in value the, in one word, CAST initiative, because in my opinion, CAST initiative is, let's think about a box in which we can put many, many activities. Just to get you an example, all the activities I mentioned just before, the creative dialogues, acceleration program, training program, digital upskilling plan, and so on, we realize it in the creative hub that we have in Technopolis, but that all partners have in their premises. So I think that with CAST initiative could really be the future of this project.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Davide. ADRION program has decided to boost the transfer and the reuse of project results by building thematic networks which allow to exchange practices and create synergies among projects dealing with complementary thematics. So our project, CCI4TOURISM project, is participating in the ADRION thematic sub-cluster of cultural creative industries together with other projects. So now I would like to see if Mrs. Ida Karola is online with us. Ida is the project manager on behalf of the Nardò municipality, presenting the Emondi Grounds project. Do we have Ida online? Okay, not yet. I'm getting from the control the information that Mrs. Karola is not with us yet. So we could proceed to the next session of our in the agenda, starting talking about project results and key takeaways. And I would like to ask some partners who are together with us today, thank you very much for that, to come and sit on our, it's not quite a round table, but on the stage. So I would like to ask Tamara and Branka from our partner AGRA, Jadar County Rural Development Agency, Mrs. Tamara Paleka and Branka Nakic. Also, I would like to ask Claudia Barachini from Friuli Innovazione Research and Technology Transfer Center, FIN, together with Federico Mansuti. Would you like to join us? And also Goran Pavlov from IRI Center. Please take your seats. Okay. So, let's start a first round of some very brief presentations of the results, the main results of the project that had to do with Creative Hubs Network for Cultural Tourism. I would like to ask Claudia to first present the guidelines to support CCIs for tourism market in the ADRION area. We have the presentation of Claudia to be uploaded. You can either do it by sitting there, or you can come here. It's up to you. You can watch the presentation from the screen, and you can ask the people from the control to change slides for you.
No,
Or
if it's
prefer to
working,
okay.
it's
Yes.
it's fine. So this is the right, it's yes. Forward. Yeah. It works, but of course it works. It's us that sometimes we are not understanding. So, so happy to be here. Happy because now that we got to know each other, yesterday we worked well, and to be honest, after this beginning that was hard, but also we learned something from that. Now it's difficult to say that this is the last meeting that in presence. And it's amazing every time we met, and now, yeah, we met a few times, but every time we went forward like speed, fast forward. And we did it also yesterday. And it's true, Davide, we did many things. This was the first, let's say, deliverable that we implemented. And this deliverable meant that the beginning, that usually is analysis, a desk analysis of the sector, because CCI4TOURISM, Cultural and Creative Industries for Tourism, Sustainable Tourism, means that we were looking for a specific area of specific targets. So those cultural and creative industries that had potential for tourism, but not all kind of tourism, especially sustainable tourism, which means not massive tourism that addresses areas that are not known, but that have potential. So why was this a specific deliverable request? It was requested to set the base and provide the framework for us to proceed with the activities to make it land on Earth. What could really be useful for the target we were addressing, and to understand what we needed to do. We needed to check with them what were their needs on one side, and what were the guiding stars, what were the priorities that are settled on an EU level, on a national level, on a local level. So all this information were needed, and also we needed to get to know each other, because 9 partners, 9 organizations, some of us have similar activities, but in reality we are different, and this is the potentiality. So this was really a very crucial deliverable. And as I said, it set the base for constructing, making this transnational support program. The technical words basically means that we needed to understand well what were our experiences, what were our services, what were the needs, and drive the activities to support, to unlock this potentiality. And it was a serious thing in a moment where both cultural and creative industries and tourists collapsed. There was nothing that was done before, no experiences, no documents, no research that was useful. So apart from meeting online, and apart from driving this uncertainty, which touched personally and also and we were lucky because we had the activities to do. It's amazing that what we did, and I wanted to share this with our partners. We did something really important. So we went through our activities, what we have been doing, what methods and what services were we using, and we put them together and sort of, okay, we use a lot Excel forms, but what were the services from the idea to the implementation of a project that were successful, were practical to use also in this case. And what were the tools and schemes? And maybe some tools and schemes needed to be renewed or to be implemented as a new creation, because we were addressing also a transnational level. And the transnational doesn't just mean that we need to share, it doesn't mean whatever country, whatever partner. No, we needed to focus on us to make it the best. And also we set the base for what has become now the CAST initiative. So a transnational support infrastructure with infrastructure, and to set the base for the ADRION joint management network that would actually make the difference, the added value of everything. I go a bit more. So I already said this. We did a preliminary analysis. We went through the target needs. We did the focus groups online. So suddenly it was amazing because from using Zoom or whatever program for distant collaboration once in a year, twice in a year, we started to use it every day, and we got very skilled. So this is a competence that everybody got. So we did a preliminary analysis, defining transnational resources, just what I said, what were our specialization, how were we moving our ecosystem, and eventually we set a toolkit of services available. This is like a set of colors that we would have used for the different activities. This was the idea. The guidelines already settled in the project, and we were lucky because they matched perfectly with the priorities that on a EU level and national level were addressing to these two sectors that were like non-functioning, was the entrepreneurship. So the idea was whatever kind of support program, always entrepreneurship, either it's an association, non-profit, individual entrepreneurship, which means business model, analysis of customer, analysis of objectives, analysis of stakeholders. All this, now business model is used and overused, but it's great because I use it also with my husband sometimes. It's really, you know, let's consider all the variables to organize a trip, to organize, this is almost true. So entrepreneurship. Still, there was something more because business model, okay, there are already several business models, Canvas, Lean, but now we started to create new business models, to move these elements that, for example, they had to include digital and green transition. This was the mantra that was said. What did it mean? We didn't know. Digital does not mean digitization. Does not mean just to pass from analytic to digital. It meant something more. We did what we could. Because actually the digitization was also useful because it happened faster. And it was necessary, especially for the tourist area. The competencies, for example, in our case, Fiera Innovazione focused on digital market because it matched perfectly with entrepreneurship. So once you know your target, once you know your customer, once you know your added value, you know what to promote, and then you work on the digital tools. And, but other partners, they made amazing workshops using also technologies like machine learning, VR, if I'm not wrong, and other. We also work on Fab Lab with reverse engineering software, so on. So, but this was the idea. And the green transition meant basically the ideal situation was every business, every idea, every project should consider this as a minimum the circular economy model, and even more. And sometimes digital and green, they come together easily. So this was like an area of research, of experimentation for us, and this was tackled in the support program. Also, we needed to match the local needs and transnational resources and the potentialities. Then the support service methodology, we settled in these guidelines, and we need to harmonize the tools and schemes that we were already using. So this, as I said, business management, not just about the new production, new presentation, but also development and improvement of new business models, which actually were on a practical side. We were working directly with the targets. We are not research centers, although we collaborate with research centers. And in this case, we worked a lot and very close, and also collecting needs that were coming up month by month, basically. So we work within an agile approach. And digital transformation, so not just digital skill set, but also, for example, digital awareness was very important because people did not know what shall I change in my idea, in my project, in my idea of service. So that was important. Cybersecurity was also important in this as a topic. And then sustainable tourism. In this case, the idea was for this target to focus on experiential and circular. Sustainable tourism works especially with those areas which, as I said, more rural areas which are not so well known but have a strong potentiality. They have to to deseasonalize the market and so on. Okay, this is important. I stop 1 second here because this is really important. I mentioned already, but this on the list side are the different, let's say, specialities and also the different stakeholders engaged in the network that is then the base of the CAST initiative. We have business incubation, academy and research. Our lead partner is directly connected with the University of Bari. We were, as Friuli Innovazione, we were born out of a liaison office from the University of Udine. Nowadays, we are more close to the industrial and the business area. Cultural and creative industries, of course, the target. Access to finance, very important. We didn't tackle enough in this project, but this is a potentiality to be developed in next projects. Tourists, of course, policymakers. All of us are connected with our local policymakers, and during this specific period, in our case, the connection got stronger. And, of course, technologies. So, as I said, the network means that each of us has a specialization and has a connection among these stakeholders, which is stronger. If we put this together on a transnational level, it means that the moment we are part of this network, we are also able to reach a stakeholder that perhaps is not the direct partner, but the network is very important and should be more evaluated. These are different, the icons means that not all the partners are the same, they have different specialities, and this is part, of course, is the base also of the strategy. The support program methodology, I said that we went through analysis of previous programs, our experience, what were the objectives of CCI4TOURISM, and basically this was the methodology that we followed. So first phase, entrepreneurial discovery, was very important for us, especially to settle the CAST initiative, the network of the hub. Yeah. And then the program structuring, the support program execution that were implemented in different ways, and then the creative hub. The harmonization of tools also was quite important, but I think that because I know I'm a bit far away from the time, that I will keep this for the strategy, okay? So I stop here, and this part that includes the description of the activities will be described later on. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. We are ready to restart. So, we are very sorry for this delay due to technical reasons. And now I think that we are ready to connect to Ida Carola. She's connected from Italy. Hello, Ida, can you hear us?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you.
Nice to have you, even online with us. So, Ida is the project manager on behalf of Nardo municipality, representing the project Imonter Grounds, which is one of the projects together with our own CCI4TOURISM in the subcluster of ADRION program for cultural creative industries. So, Ida, the floor is yours. You can start sharing your presentation.
Thank you very much. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's great. Thank you. You can proceed.
Well, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Once again, on behalf of the municipality of Nardo, I would like to thank CCI4TOURISM project, in particular the lead partner and the hosting partner for this invitation at your final event. As I said before, I'm Ida Carolla and I'm the project manager of Imonter Grounds project. And today I will describe you the goal and the main achievements of ADRION thematic subcluster. As you can see in the slide, it includes 3 projects that are Imonter Grounds, Creators, and CCI4TOURISM, and it is included under the ADRION thematic cluster focused on sustainability in cultural and natural tourist destinations. You can find more information on the program website section. But which are the goals of our subcluster? The main goal is to boost the transfer and reuse of the changing practices and knowledge, creating the synergies among the involved projects to go beyond what was already achieved at the project level. It means that the subcluster aims to make the knowledge and the project results that are the ADRION capital widely accessible and increase the impact of the involved project results by promoting their transfer and reuse, and also helping to build know-how in the Adriatic-Ionian region by raising awareness and improving communication of results in the specific field of creative and cultural industries at a local, regional, and national level. But which are the specific goals? First of all, jointly defining a policy paper with recommendation and follow-up for policymakers to influence the political debate on the cultural heritage management widely conceived as tangible and intangible assets. This specific objective consists in the provision, in cooperation with the other cluster projects partners, of a political and strategic document for policymakers with the useful tools and recommendations to better support CCIs to enhance their capacity to overcome the difficulties and barriers caused by the pandemic crisis, and to play a strategic role in the preservation and management of cultural heritage. The second is designing new project ideas starting from the emergent territorial innovation needs that could be faced and funded within the 2021-2027 programming period European framework. Canvas methodology, focus group results, interviews, questionnaire, to map potential local and transnational stakeholders within and outside the cluster have been used to work synergically to finalize new project ideas that could get more funding within ADRION or any other funding scheme. The third specific objective is extending the already created project networks with the signature of a memorandum of understanding which establishes an ADRION observatory for cultural and tourism sectors. This objective will be reached by the signature of this memorandum of understanding, as we can see later in the following slides. The subcluster in a nutshell. The main documents, referring documents are the ADRION program and the ADRION capitalization activity strategy. As I said before, this subcluster is included in the thematic cluster focused on sustainability in cultural and natural tourist destination. Its name is ADRION Thematic Subcluster on Cultural and Creative Industries. And the related activities was started on June 2021 and will end on December 2022. It involves 27 organizations coming from 8 countries, and the leader coordinator is the municipality of Nardò. But which are the main achievements of the subcluster? As we can see, we have the policy paper for policymakers and CCIs, new project ideas, memorandum of understanding for CCIs and tourism sectors. Regarding the policy paper, the aim of the paper is to provide decision makers operating at a different level within the Adriatic-Ionian region with the new strategic tools and policy recommendations to better support CCIs and thus potentiate their capacity to play a strategic role in the preservation and promotion of cultural heritage, as well as in the increasing of sustainable tourism. As you can see in the slide, the policy paper is structured into 4 chapters. The first one is focused on CCI ecosystem analysis before and after COVID-19. The second on behind COVID-19 future perspective for CCIs. The third chapter on support the CCIs operators in Adriatic-Ionian region. And the fourth on policy recommendations. We also have 2 annexes in order to capitalize on project results. It includes useful events, focus groups, meeting, implementing during cluster projects. And the Annex 3 focused on the details contained in each application form related to project details and deliverable details of the capitalization activities. Partners developed the 5 policy recommendations. First of all, I would like to underline that the conducted analysis showed that at the end of 2019, the cultural and creative economy was one of the most dynamic sectors. Just to make a comparison, the CCIs contributed more to the economy than telecommunications, high technology, parapharmaceuticals, and the automotive industry. The downfall started in 2020 with the arrival of a COVID-19 crisis, as the cultural and creative economy lost around the 31% of their revenues. The CCIs are one of the most affected sectors in Europe. CCI, however, are essential for maintaining European cultural diversity, social cohesion, and attractiveness internationally. The sector has an extraordinary capacity to be creative at all levels, but needs further resources, investments, and a greater support in critical moments such as COVID-19. So the first policy recommendation is to guarantee stable and fair conditions for workers in the CCI sector. Compared with the wider labor market, cultural workers are more often self-employed than other workers are. CCI's labor market conditions are such that workers are in a weak position, as the labor market is very fragmented and job options are scarce. These facts require prompt and active actions by policymakers to ensure that unsustainable structures and practices in the CCI's working environment are eliminated and replaced by a fair working system. The second recommendation is to support for training, education, and the use of innovative technologies. Digital technologies can play a crucial role for the sustainability of the entire sector, particularly in the light of what's happened with the pandemic crisis. Creating new digital distribution formats, new form of cultural experience, and new business models. Of course, actions of policymakers that go into the direction of supporting CCIs in the wider access and use of digital technologies are necessary also by dedicated trainings and educations. The third policy recommendation is to sustain new enterprises, business acceleration, new business models. This recommendation is strictly linked to the previous. New forms of cultural experience involve a new business model with market potential, so the need to sustain the new enterprises, startups, as well as business acceleration is really clear. The fourth recommendation is to support networks and aggregation of CCI actors. There is a strong need to connect and support different CCIs sectors in finding their innovation path in order to provide more sustainable and smarter products and services. So there is the need to support and promote networking activities for CCI's sector. The last recommendation is to develop infrastructure for CCI sector. The creation of infrastructure to support the CCI sector should be concerted action between central, regional, national authorities, and between them and the sectors of businesses and associations and higher education. The type of infrastructures include physical spaces, technological equipment, and fast connection to the World Wide Web. This coordination should be assured at the local, regional, national, and transnational level between policymakers, assuring also the dialogue between them and the stakeholders. The second achievement concerned the new project ideas. Partners organized and implemented 3 laboratories of co-design of new project ideas using Project Canvas methodology. Within the cluster, the lead partners of the 3 projects mapped, as you can see in this slide, the profiles of the potential organizations and the partners. And starting from the mapping, it was possible to involve 27 organizations. The analysis of the collected partnership profiles allowed to highlight the following results: geographical origin of the partners, partners' competencies, partner innovation needs, and also new project ideas. The collected data allowed to elaborate a matrix of skills and needs, and also starting from it, then we started the fundraising and monitoring activities that is still ongoing. Project ideas collection and partner composition were conducted, and arranging then at the end of this process 3 project ideas template contents. As you can see, the results of this activity brought to define 3 project ideas that are under attention to be candidated under the new call for proposals of the new programming period. Specifically, we implemented 3 laboratories. The first one focused on innovative technologies, training and education, that produced these new project ideas, focused on promoting the sustainable smart economic transition of transnational cultural attractors by new tourist e-services and improved digital skills. The second laboratory was focused on public policies improvement, networks of CCI sectors, and it conducted to the definition of the project ideas focused on boosting the ADRION cultural and creative ecosystem, reinforcing networks and e-services. And the third one, new enterprises, business acceleration and new business model, brought to define the project ideas entitled Promoting the Adoption of Sustainable, Circular and Resource-Efficient Practices in Tourism, Small and Medium Enterprise and CCIs linked to tourism. Well, can you hear me?
Yes. Ida, yes,
the
we are a little bit behind in time, so perhaps
Okay.
you could sum up, okay?
Okay. I go very slow, very fast. Regarding the third achievement, it concerns the memorandum of understanding. We can see the involved actors. They are founding members organizations that are the partners of the cluster project and the members organizations that are other stakeholders. The founding members are technical and technological partners, institutional and national partners, and scientific members. I go very fast ahead. The duration of the memorandum will cover a first period based on 2021-2027 programming period and starts from parties' signatures. Which are the objectives of the observatory? To strengthen the partners' cooperation beyond project duration, also involving other organizations, supporting the tourism offer diversification, encouraging new services and innovative tourism products, fostering digital skills innovation, and affecting cross-cutting issues as social and cultural inclusion and sustainable development. Which are the impacts already achieved and which are the future perspective. The impacts already achieved are the reinforcement of the project networks, as said before, the animation of the public policy debate on cultural heritage and tourism management, with several policy tools, the policy paper at cluster level and other policy tools at project level, such as action plans, guideline manuals, and strategies. And promotion new forms of cultural experience and new economic digital distribution form. Which are the future perspectives? Partners worked assiduously to capitalize the experiences gained and adopted interactive methodologies of mutual involvement with interactive spaces, shared Jamboards, and open brainstorming sessions that brought to construct new scenarios, recommendations, new projects, new common innovation initiative for CCIs, also for the future and for the mid and long term period. Okay, I finish my presentation. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ida. are there any questions from the live audience or the people that are watching us through live streaming? You can always use the chat for that. Yes, please. Davide.
Just one, thank you. No, it's not a question, but just to say thank you to Ida. Thank you very much for the work done, because she coordinated 3 projects in the subcluster activity. So it was a new job also for us. Great job done, because she put in connection each other, and so we can capitalize also with other partners of the ADRION area. So just want to say this. Thank you, Ida. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
So, any other comments? Thank you so much, Ida. We wish you a great December, and we are looking forward to meet you again in another project or another cooperation. Thank you very much.
I wish the same. Thank you too.
Bye. Okay,
Bye-bye.
so going back to where we left the roundtable that began a little bit earlier, about the Creative Hubs Network for Cultural Tourism. Claudia presented the guidelines, and also the Creative and Sustainable Tourism Initiative, the so-called CAST initiative, was mentioned a few times. So I would like to ask Goran Pavlov, for CCI4TOURISM partner IRID Center, to give us more information about this CAST initiative.
Thank you, Poppy, for introducing me. I'm Goran Pavlov, coming from IRID Center from Croatia, and as a task leader of Work Group 1, we were responsible for drafting the idea of the CAST initiative. Can we open a presentation? Okay, so the CAST initiative, it is Creative and Sustainable Tourism Initiative. And just to introduce you a little bit to the idea, the main problem when we started the project working as a business support organization, and it was mentioned many times before, it was the transition, the transformation, and what we needed to do. So when we first talked with the CCIs, the first question was, what do you need? They were accustomed to do service providing. What do you need? Do you need an actor? Do you need filmmaking? What do you need? And the hardest thing for us was not to do what I need, but what do you need? We are here to make you a better entrepreneur. We're here to diversify your income. We're here, you are here to think about your business, because during the COVID, they were the ones who take the most substantial blow in reducing their income. There were no projects, there were no live performance, and it was really evident that they need to diversify. So when we are talking about the CAST initiative what we as a business support organization are doing, it's CCI4TOURISM, it is transformation of the CCIs to be better involved in tourism delivery of experience products. And just yesterday we were talking about level of transformation. And the level for transformation, I'm providing a service. I'm jointly developing service with the tourism agency. I'm operating the tourism project together with them. So I am, let's say, part business owner, or I have a tourism product that I use tourist agency to promote my product. So the creatives are the one who are owners of the product. So they are not just service delivery who has, when they have projects, they have, let's say, 20 projects in line, and other half of the year, I do not have a project, what should I do, things like that. So it's like, I can always work on my project, and the idea is how to upskill, how to make the upskilling, and how to prepare them to take this transition. And What we have learned is that we have just started, and the CAST initiative is something that we would like it to change because we feel and we see that the change is really there. So the mission of the CAST initiative is supporting interlinkage between CCIs and tourism industry to develop and deliver creative and sustainable tourism products and implement positive sustainable practices in both sectors. So the main idea, this was our, on the first meeting, we had this slide. We are working within the destination, within our territory. We are working with the CCCIs and tourism agency to create creative tourism and sustainable tourism products. And now we are funding a network to support them internationally, exchange experience, and having the whole industry move forward. So the founding members of the CAST initiative are project partners. This is Technopolis, Agra from Zadar County, Friuli Innovazione, KEPA from Thessaloniki, Erda Green Karst from Slovenia, RAS, also from Slovenia, FEPS, IDEA, and IRI Center. We are scattered around the ADRION region, and it is good because what we have learned is that each of us has a different ecosystem, but all of the same, we all have the similar problems, and the solutions can be jointly developed. So what we do, the CAST initiative, we support. We are business support organizations who are supporting the sustainable products and sustainable practices to come to life. When we talk about sustainability, it's not only about green, it has to be beneficial to the environment, but also beneficial to the territory. When I talk beneficial to territory, we are all accustomed to over-tourism, to changing in behavior of local population because of the tourism, and this is not a sustainable practice. If we have ghost cities that are mostly tourist places, when it is not the same place. So we need to think a sustainable practice. We need to think about tourism as an industry branch that cohabitates with ordinary everyday living. So what we did, we had a booklet, Best CCI Ideas. We connected it to the Sustainable Development Goals, and this was a start to see what kind of sustainable products, what kind of sustainable practices there are, what we as a business support organizations can support this idea to move forward to the market or to move forward to internationalize themselves. So the objectives of CAST initiative is to introduce new approach to tourism strategies centers in the CCCIs as main drivers of radical change in tourism, because we feel that experience tourism is something that should be the tourism in future, and sustainable tourism coherent with that. Our objective is to share experiences that we have as business support organizations. We supported many different types of industries, where most of the time the creative industry somehow falls through the fingers. It's not, it's not in the main policies. It's somewhere there, but it's not that connected to the business support organizations. We try to deliver tailored programs just for the CCCIs to gain new entrepreneurship skills and to provide ecosystem of services for delivering new models of sustainable tourism. Our objective is also to ensure long-term sustainability of CAST initiative activities, and we are leveraging on transnational strategy that we were talking yesterday, and transnational action plan for Adriatic-Ionian cultural tourism 4.0. And we also, as a CAST initiative, will work on strengthening and enlarging CAST initiative network in the future to provide services not within our territories, but to new territories as well. If we sum this up, we can see that CAST initiative works on 3 pillars. We work on policy, we work within our local ecosystems, and we work also transnationally. In policy, we work and we will work in future dialogues with decision makers, lobbying, media campaigns, debates, and consultations, because this is change that needs to happen. It's happening right now. In local ecosystem, we have acceleration and incubation services, training and upskilling specially tailored for CCIs and tourism operators, and pilot action and co-creative activities, similar to design thinking and other methods and tools that we have used. Also for transnational ecosystem, we have exchange visit, multilateral collaboration on business model, international business model, and communication to the relevant stakeholder. Yesterday we just came up also with the idea of transnational ecosystem and how to make the ADRION tourism value chain for a certain group of SMEs helping an SME for another country to make a product for their market, and then to get cross-fertilization, to have helping chain and go-to-market change all at once. So a lot of things can happen if you use your imagination, and that is precisely why we need the CCCIs, not only in tourism, but in every sector. So this was a tough one, how to make the organization. We were aiming at simple and efficient. So the organization is a three to five member management board. We have chief coordinator, business coordinator, and communication coordinator. So the chief coordinator is mainly responsible for creating a CAST program and activity coordination within this CAST project. It's going to be done biannually. It needs to organize management board, organization of General Assembly, and execution of decisions of General Assembly. The business coordinator is an administrational role in this CAST initiative, document management, financial management, cloud storage management, annual member survey analysis, and administrative support in activity execution. And communication coordinator is to communicate our objectives and our activities to the general public. So for all of you that are not already a part of CAST initiative, what you need to do is read the article of association. If you agree what's in it, you need to sign memorandum of understanding, come to the General Assembly, send us all of this through our email, info@castinitiative.eu, and become a member of CAST initiative, where you will have the possibility to add your ideas to our biannual project plan. And just to say why to participate, it's not only for the BCOs to participate, but also the regions who want to develop or enrich their ecosystem with this new kind of new approach. The value of CAST initiative is because we are a stable community of actors that can co-create valuable ideas, a new business model for sustainable cultural tourism, both at company and territorial level. And we work locally and transnationally. We provide space, training, socialization, support to the entrepreneurship and networking, business development, and community engagement within the creative, cultural, and technological sector. And this was the presentation. Thank you for listening this session.
Thank you, Goran. So, we will have a discussion all together later on. As Goran mentioned, in each one of the partner territory, one CCI hub was established. So we will have the chance now to hear the experience from the managers of two such hubs. First of all, I would like to ask Tamara Paleka and Branka Nakic from the Zadar County Rural Development Agency, AGRA, to share their experience. And then we will have another presentation from another hub. Yes.
Thank you, Papi. Hello, dear partners. For those who don't know me, my name is Tamara, and I come from Zadar County Rural Development Agency, AGRA. Today, me and my colleague, Branka, will present experience sharing by the CCI4TOURISM Creative Hub Managers. Okay. So, what do the hubs actually represent in the CCI4TOURISM project? They're a network of physical places run by PPs in their premises with the goal of heritage valorization, digital technologies, all with the potential to renew the ADRION regions. So these are physical places run by all the PPs in their premises. Okay. Who are the target groups of the creative hubs? These are the actual people that use our hubs. As we see, we have different types of targets. We have SMEs. We have education and training centers in schools. We have various individuals, professionals, tourism agency operators, decision makers, of course, local, national, and regional public authorities. We have other stakeholders, including higher education institutions and research. We have associations and foundations dealing with cultural heritage, and of course we have the EU and EC institutions. The slide shows our actual target groups from the AGRA Creative Hub. Those are CCIs, as you can see. Okay, why do we need our hubs? Why? So what is actually the applicability of our creative hubs? First of all, we have to define and take into consideration past successful, similar experiences. Then our creative hubs actually provide the structure, physical and managerial, to realize all the contents foreseen in our CCI4TOURISM project. Also, we have the entrepreneurial discovery and empowerment, which is especially emphasized in the creation of our hubs. We have the replicability factor of our hubs. All of our hubs can be replicized in different countries, all in the ADRION area. And, of course, we have the potential number of possible future hubs which will be established, which shall adopt the same management system as foreseen in our hub management system. Okay? And now we will hear a little more about the actual hubs by our hub manager, Branka, and I leave the floor to Branka.
Hello, everybody. My name is Branka, as Tamara said, and I will say a few words about the hubs that had created as a part of CCI4TOURISM project and about experience of their hub managers. So, just a second. Okay. First in this row, it's going to be AGRA Creative Hub, which is our hub from Zadar County, Croatia. It was established at 2021 here in rural city of Benkovac, which is in Zadar County. This hub was conceived as a creative and innovative center with a common workspace, platform for knowledge sharing. Also, it serves like an exhibition space for CCIs and their products. And overall, our hub serves to promote our creative community in our area. So, next one is Technopolis Creative Hub. It can be described as a central node of transnational network. Technopolis Creative Hub hosting companies and informal teams of CCI sectors. Thanks to its location in the Science and Technology Park, users can profit to inspiring and dynamic environment coming from SMEs, startups, enterprises, and research centers from having their operative offices in the park. Also, according to Alessandra D'Alena, a Creative Hub manager, the main goal of Technopolis Creative Hub is to foster and advance a healthy community by informing and including stakeholders in events and new initiatives. Hub is open for different association companies, teams and experts who are looking at an inspiring environment, supporting services, co-working space, and venue for meeting or events. So next one is Novi Sad Creative Hub. Novi Sad Creative Hub provides the creative and common sharing space where technology meets creativity. Creative Hub Novi Sad also offers research co-working space for training, educations, and promotions of ideas and researchers. And according to Mr. Vladimir Todorovic, which is a hub manager, the mission of Novi Sad Creative Hub is to enrich the cultural and creative vibrancy of the community by helping creative talents to commercialize innovative products and services. And here's also a Triangle Creative Hub, which is a creative hub from Split County. It was established in 2021 in city of Kaštela. This is a gathering place for freelancers and SMEs. It provides wide range of services such as business startup and development support in the shape of mentoring and workshop product prototyping, networking and events, research and development, business and financial consultancy, digital and video design, digital storytelling, and accelerator programs. This hub, Triangle Hub, is organized as an activity cluster, having its members join on a special project and activities. Also, according to Ms. Anna Ban, the hub manager of Triangle Creative Hub, this is the place where cultural and creative industries connect and interact. Then, next in a row is Creative Hub 78, which is established in Banja Luka, 2021. Excuse me? Okay, this is from my side. Then I leave also floor to Tamara. Thank you.
Thank you, Branka. Thank you, Branka. Okay. After we have our Škofja Loka Creative Hub, which is a place which connects the creative community within the fields of mostly arts, crafts, textile, industrial design, a mix of intangible cultural heritage in the area mixed with contemporary creativity. According to Kati Sekinik, who is here with us, the hub offers support for various CCIs. It offers incubation, entrepreneurship, training programs, mentorship, and it's a space where all the creatives from the area can connect and network and collaborate with each other with the aim of the production of new products. After Škofja Loka, we have Kamra. Kamra is our creative hub, which was set up in Pivka, in Primorsko-Notranska region in Slovenia, within the premises of RDA Greed Karst. Okay, so the hub is specialized mainly in two priority axes, digital upskilling, and the second one would be definitely exploring the potential of the CCI sector. But according to Božjan Požar, their local hub manager, it says it's a place with the aim of it has a space for meetings, small events, educational activities, training programs, and it's a place where there's a welcoming co-working space equipped with all the technology necessary to access the internet and support. Okay, and then we have Kepa Creative Hub. Kepa Creative Hub is considered to cover the gap regarding to support the CCI development in the region of Central Macedonia. Of course, their aim is to contribute to the local economic development and create entrepreneurship, innovation, and a friendly environment. According to Angeliki Barakli, the local hub manager, this will be a networking physical place to attract open innovation and ideas to thrive. And last but not least is Fruline Innovaciones Creative Hub, which is actually deployed in 2 locations. The first one is the business incubator premises, and the second one is the Fab Lab. And according to our Claudia Barachini, local hub manager, this is a hub which offers opportunities for networking, the development of new digital technologies. It offers business support, it offers training programs, and among all, the transfer of technology. And what about hubs in the future? What happened? We have all these hubs, and by establishing all these hubs, we decided to join together into the CAST initiative. As Davide said before, capitalization is very important. And as a result of this, the CAST initiative was born with the aim of, we want more hubs like ours to join. So as I don't want to be any longer, Goran really described the CAST initiative in detail. And more about the CAST initiative can be found at their website. And thank you for attention. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Tamara and Branka, for this overview of the CCI hubs. And now we would like to connect with Bosnia and Herzegovina and Banja Luka with Vladimir Amidzic from the City Development Agency Banja Luka.
Hello everybody, big hello from Banja Luka, do you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, now we can see you.
We are so sorry because that we didn't dare with you, but I don't know. Today I will show our presentation about our hub, but I don't know what to say more about after Tamara and Branka. We will talk specifically about our hub. We will not tell anything about other hubs.
Great. Looking forward. We can start sharing
Okay,
your
thank
screen.
you. Okay, see my screen now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, I will tell you something more about our Hub 78, experience sharing by the CCI4TOURISM Hub Manager. Our hub is established last year on the location Josipa Pančića 8 in Banja Luka. This is actually in our agency. We have a small part that we use for the multiple space of about 40 meters square and small hall for the meetings. Our hub is multidisciplinary nature with an emphasis on digital tourism, and we are center test type. Okay. This is some pictures from the day that we opened our hub last year in the April, I think so. Our hub manager is Mario Milanovic. He is not here right now because we have some big event about the organization, our holidays in the Banja Luka. Our Hub 70 is the first cultural and creative hub in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have a number of certified users. On this picture, you can see the equipment that was unavailable to most users, and because of that, we ordered that specific equipment. Now I will say something about hub manager observation. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, the term creative center or hub is a rare use, and very few people know what is represented. Although a similar concept exists during the time of the former state. Institutions such as Young Center, Culture Center, Cultural Sport Center were places where young people spend time every day, exchange ideas, create, participate, and help each other. The working principle of our hub is simple. It is a place where allowed creative people a space where they can create, participate, connect, and complete. In this completely process, something phenomenal happens. People have fun, and not only the creators, but those who came to consume the final product of their work. In our hub this year, we hosted a high school from the Banja Luka for the proposal of making parts of the product that will be used for the competition for the 14th International Exhibition of Ideas, Innovation, and Creativity Inos Mladi 2012. The student and their teacher from Banja Luka Grammar School used our service of our creative hub. They use our Ultimakers 2+ 3D printers to create their 3D models. That you can see that on those two pictures. Also in our hub, we held trainings for writing business plan from startups from the CCI sectors. We have a large number of entrepreneurs attending of those trainings, and those trainings given by external trainers from our city development agency. Last month we had the promotion of our VR film. All those interested had happened opportunity who was there to watch our VR film, which is recorded as a part of the pilot campaign using VR glasses that we integral part of the equipment of our hub. Some of colleagues from the other PPIs, I think, were here in this event. Now about some past activity in our hub. We had about trainings. We held business planning, how to build your business idea, making planning, communication, PR, storytelling, employees, organization, and leaderships. Also created and the leadership speech program, financial, digital promotion, project management, copyright management, and helping startups. This is some pictures from our trainings also, and I think so that will be all that we prepare to our presentation.
Thank you, Vladimir. Please stay online. And now
okay, we will be online.
Okay. Thank you guys for the excellent presentations. Because we're running out of time, just very short questions and I hope for short answers. Federico, you are, as I understand, one of the beneficiaries from the project. Can you share with us your experience in working with FIN and what you gained from this collaboration?
Is working? Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, as we talked a bit before, with my CCI that is called Simularte, we had the chance with Innovazione to follow a path in digital and tourism and in business modeling, let's say kind of masterclass courses during the CCI4TOURISM project. it was very useful because about my project that is strictly connected with international tourism and cultural offer in our region, Friuli Venezia Giulia. We started in 2019 proposing an exchange experience, a study visit in Udine, in our region, for high-level musical courses in a campus during summertime. But of course, COVID started in 2020, so the live experience of musical and cultural exchange had to stop. And thanks to the CCI4TOURISM project, we had the chance again to modify the model and to find new strategies for keep the project called Music System Italy up also during the pandemic. We in these 2 or 3 years almost, we tried to keep the connection between Japan, Australia, and Italy ready for 2023 to be again live together in Udine. So yeah, without the supporting of Rinnovazioni and the CCI4TOURISM project, maybe this experience will have to stop and die during.
Thanks, Federico. I hope all the best for you and your initiative. Goran, you described us the CAST initiative, and I understand it's something that all partners would like, and looks very promising. Also, you described the transformation of the services, which is transforming the service of tourism, as I understand, and includes CCIs in there. What do you think is one of the most the main difficulty in transforming these kind of services?
The main difficulties in transforming is, I don't know, if I'm selling goods, why change anything? So that's always the main problem. And when things are good, we usually don't change nothing. So when we got COVID, we started to change, and in some way it's good. So the main problem is how to change the behavior of the CCCIs. We are not only service providers, but we are somebody who really has something to say about the entrepreneurship, who really has something to say about project management, who has something to say about lean and agile, because they are lean and agile, it's in their core. So the businesses from tourism sector could learn something from the CCCIs, how to be lean and creative, and also the CCI sectors could learn something that they are not only service provider, but really a valuable member of entrepreneurial environment. And that's what we at the CAST initiative would like to change. And the other thing that we would like to change is we need to fight the over-tourism. It needs to become more sustainable, especially in the Adriatic-Ionian region. And that's why we're working with the rural area, with the area that's not tourism developed, in order let all of us be creative and really make a good impact on those environments and take away the harmful effect of our tourism that we have in large tourism places.
Okay, thanks. I agree with you that tourism is not changing very easily. Now, one of my last questions is about the hub managers, your experience. So you both have these wonderful hubs. You talk about the future. What about your hub's next step? I mean, after CCI4TOURISM finalizes, what is going to be your main, let's say, initiative or your main action?
Well, our main initiative and action is definitely to continue with the successful cooperation that we have with the existing CCIs in our networks, with the goal of enlarging their number in our area. We feel that from the beginning of this project, we felt that the creative and cultural sector in our area is not, it needs more promotion. These people deserve a chance, and it will not stop with the end of this project. We will continue to work with the cultural creative sector. Of course, tourism is a very important factor in in our county and in our area, in the Adriatic Sea area. So this is not where it ends. The hub will definitely operate in the future. Thanks.
The same question holds for you also, Vladimir. I think Banja Luka is also the country is not, as you said, not seeing many such initiatives for the like hubs or. So, do you think if this is going to follow and keep continuing, or do you think funding is going to be crucial? Vladimir, I don't know if you had.
Yeah, I didn't hear you very well. I think that if I mean what you asked me, that the same question about you asked Tamara, or
yes, correctly. Yes, the same.
Yeah. Our plan is that we expand our network of users and try to next year to buy more equipment and to try to more promote our hub, and I don't know, we will continue to work. We will not stop on this.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you guys for your great presentations and your valuable input. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, we can have a break now, 15 minutes. So now it's 12:15 Greek time, 11:15 in more Central European time. So let's be back in 12:30, 15 minutes, or 11:30 for our online guests from the rest of Europe. Thank you. See you later. Hello and welcome back. We can now continue with our next part. The next session is about the challenges and future opportunities for Adriatic-Ionian cultural tourism 4.0. And we can start with Claudia Barachini from Friuli Innovazione Research and Technology Transfer Center, FIN, to speak to us about the transnational strategy for the strengthening CCI's skills and competencies. Claudia, the podium is again yours.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I will be concise and straight to the point. CCI4TOURISM is coming towards the end of the specific project, but to the beginning of the follow-up. And as always, when you finish a journey, it's good to see and understand what were the results, where these are taking us, and especially if we have a goal. This project aimed to, again, let's see, to strengthen the competencies and skills of cultural creative industries for sustainable tourism. And now we are asked by the program, but also this is a good moment to stop and understand what will be the next steps. The goal remains the same. So the mission is what we do. So we understood by now, but let me just make a synthesis that will also be further developed in the strategy. So we are working together to strengthen these sectors in the ADRION program area. Again, also the geographical area is very important to underline. And part of the goal, I put in 3 sections because it's, let's say, it could be a whole synthesis, but there are 3 main points there. Part of what we do is upgrading, upskilling the whole ecosystem, especially the support ecosystem, both in our local areas and in particular with reference to the service delivery providers. But of course, also policymakers, as we understood that we are all very much connected with the local policymakers. And also, what we do is leverage on the transnational resources. So, the vision of the strategy, so this is the mission, what we do, and what we are going to keep on doing, still upgrading our activity. The vision, of course, asks us to see where we are now, where the activity we are doing with future projects would lead us still on this objective. And we saw from the policy, from the subcluster activity, that training and networking and supporting CCIs is, again, a pillar for the next programming period. So, as I said, this is the current situation. If we would go forward, that in the near future, then we would also have specific goals. But why not to address our aim to the ideal future? Because the strategy is an opportunity to understand whether we could achieve the highest possible or the ideal possible, but how to do this. I mean, again, we know that the sectors, the priorities, the green and digital awareness, still I believe that at least within our network, most of the CCIs are not aware of the potentialities of these tools. So this, before upskilling, it's very important. They're not aware of the impact that could have their business in the market by using specific and upgrading the specific sectors. And of course, we have mentioned it, we have been working on the CAS initiative, and everything is based on the transnational exchange. So the idea is to actually deliver a transnational support service that combines our local activity as best. So the vision is, I would say, to drive higher. Sorry, I just wanted to underline one thing. In the first section, I mentioned increase the resilience and competitiveness, of course, of CCIs and tourists with tangible growth. To understand if there's a tangible growth, we need to set a system of measurement, of collecting data that is simple, agile, and enables us to change the activities, the program, if necessary. So again, the values, let's say the principles that set the base of this strategy are the national, especially the European priorities that for the next programming period in particular. And these are very well described in the new program ADRION, in the larger bunch of European structural funds, but not only. Also the EUSER policy is addressing sustainable tourism, for example, and there are also other instruments and EU policies. Currently, within another project, we are also investigating local tools, financial tools that could support these activities. And these, of course, by means of connected channels, will also be included in CCI4TOURISM. Again, another important element is to integrate national and international ecosystem. I already explained this. And on a activity level, on a program support level, on this is this graphic shows where is our position as a CCI4TOURISM hub. We are really connecting, and Goran was mentioning before. And on the transnational and the local, there's empty space to be filled with also new services, not only with the new business models. Again, this is the sector. And yes, I will stop one moment here and in the next slide, because we spoke about this yesterday, and this is another element that will be highlighted in the strategy. Actually, we are already agile. We were forced to be agile, but we could be even better. What is missing, agile means to be able, for example, when we implement a support program, to use more collaboration, networking, and to be able to adapt also during the implementation phase the uncertainty of certain elements that affect, of course, the development of the projects, and make the best for the beneficiaries. So we're already doing this. This needs, nevertheless, to be a bit systemized. And we spoke again yesterday. We are not a training support services. Yes, maybe yes, in some part, but what we have been applying within this project, all of us, because the organization referred to creative dialogues, upskilling workshops, so it's not really a long-term training, is what is called a generative learning. What is important when we speak about the digital and green transition is not really to give all the information about all the technologies to our beneficiaries, but maybe to first make them aware about the potentiality and some technologies that specifically could be helpful for them, and then give them and make them use this information to generate, first of all, some solution that they might need, and then with a deeper step, they could get, of course, specific professionals and experts, and start to change the mindset. This is very important. It was mentioned before also when we speak about circular economy, yeah, it's a bit vague, it's abstract. Then let's get to the point. Let's work, let's make the beneficiary understand by working on their activity directly. So hands-on activity, information that are targeted, and the idea is to activate this system. So concrete experience, reflective observation that comes from the beneficiary, not from the expert. Abstract conceptualization, because we need, of course, to imagine how this could be. We need for finding solutions, active experimentation, and so on. This is going to be deepened in the strategy. Basically, the strategy also sets the base for the action plans, and the elements that we already said that will be also taken up by the action plans are, of course, included also in the strategy. We spoke about entrepreneurship. I didn't go deeper in the activity because I thought I described them earlier, but it was not time. Nevertheless, we have the slides that will be shared. Digital, green, circular, cross-sectorial and transnational activity. What will be the goals? They are somehow already included in the CAS initiative, and then we will see also later on in the action plans and the projects that we also that came better as a shape yesterday. So digital and green knowledge hub, of course, this is a topic that will be sorry. I get passionate about digital and green knowledge hub means that knowledge needs to convey, to move within the creative hub, and there should be a section dedicated to this. Transnational go-to-market, at the end of the day, if we want to have a concrete growth, we need to support immediately, the projects that are ready in the go-to-market, either local and even better transnational. Peer learning and networking, we do need to exchange as a service provider information, best practices, and be already yesterday and today I got a lot of information, very useful. It's always to meet and share directly. But I left for the last. We said we need to have tangible growth and we have a guiding start. The best, I would say, since we are at the planning strategy, let's go for the ideal. Why not? But to go for the ideal, we need to know, to have a map and to have also a compass, and to to see if we are going astray, we need to measure. We need to see if the level of transformation of the beneficiary we are supporting is effective, if something is changing for them. We need to understand also if the knowledge we are providing is useful, if it works, if it has an impact, so on and so forth. And also, we need to measure to show that our work is valuable, again, for policymakers and different levels. So these are the main aspects. I would add one more thing. In the peer learning, we didn't underline this, but we need to reserve a session for the advocacy of the conditions of the CCIs for tourist professionals, and not only, because right now this is everywhere. It came out in the policy paper, the subcluster. It's really a critical point, and as a strategy we will indicate it as well. I finished.
Okay, I have one question with two parts. Please come back, don't go. First of all, thanks for your presentation. It seems that like you've been together for so many years, and the project has very robust, tangible assets and the impact. And I like the initiative and your thinking. I want to clear in my head, maybe it's just me. Two things. One, what is going to be the first thing you're going to do after you've finalized the SIU Green, CCI4TOURISM, sorry, this was another project. And since I understand your time frame in this strategy is 2027 plus something, yes? Can you describe us the CAST initiative in 2027? How you feel, you believe you're going to like, just short.
But is it a personal, is it as a,
no.
As a personal, as referring to my organization, or just to see the overview?
How do you think it's going to be if I just drop you in 2027 somehow, and you see around, what do you see in terms of CAST initiative? Not just you, because I think your organization does more than that.
Yeah. Okay. There were two parts in your question. The first part.
What's the first step?
The first step. Okay. The first step is connecting. Since we are responsible for this strategy. It was not easy to understand that because this was an added output. But now, thanks God, because this enables us, as I mentioned and underlined, enables us already to set the basis for the measurement system. That as we have something in mind, we don't want to have something heavy in terms of collecting data. We need something that is fast to collect and easy, and we use technologies to set also the organization and the elaboration of data. So within the strategy, the objective is already to set a tool that could be, we already started yesterday, we already have it. Goran he's a magician, and so we already have that, and I believe that is important. So personally, I would go for that and collect inputs from all the partners, and also other partners that maybe already implemented something similar, to share this. So this is the first thing. How I see the CAST initiative in after 2027. Let's go further on. Okay. Probably the CAST initiative, it could be also transformed. Since I can use my imagination, and I always stay on the bright side of the road, I see that maybe not all the initial organizations, but some will take the lead and bring it forward. This is really my wish. And bring it forward means an amazing resource for all those who operate to support cultural and creative and local tourism, sustainable tourism, local, rural tourism. We have a lot in common in this area, a lot. And the final wish is that it really makes the beneficiaries, the enterprises grow and learn a system to keep on adapting and growing. So I would say that maybe not everybody, but some would, at least there's a potentiality to take the lead and make it flow. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Now, let's talk about the Transnational Action Plan for an Adriatic-Ionian Cultural Tourism 4.0, which is one other main key output of CCI4TOURISM project, and I would like to call Eleftheria Donu from Elenos Consulting. Eleftheria with Stavros are our precious external experts that support us in the elaboration of the action plan. Eleftheria.
Okay, hello everyone. Just wait for my presentation. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm Eleftheria Donu from Elenos Consulting, and I will present you the Transnational Action Plan for an Adriatic-Ionian Cultural Tourism 4.0 as it is developed so far. The main objectives of the action plan is to provide policymakers, economic operators, and key stakeholders with tools and concrete recommendations to make CCI's drivers for a renewed cultural tourism offer. And we'll succeed this by putting CCIs at the center of the new business models. Oops. Yes, the methodology of the action plan in order to achieve these objectives is structured as follows. First, we describe the current status by identifying the needs and the challenges of both sectors. We outlined the European vision and trends of the two sectors. We gathered all the ideas that were produced during the project by the project partners and the stakeholders that participate in the various events in the project, and then we propose some specific actions. These actions, we discussed these actions in the yesterday workshop. We produced new ideas in this workshop, and according to all of this, we will conclude to the final action plan. Now, CCI sector is one of the fast-growing sectors in the world, while tourism sector is also one of the biggest sectors in the world. Both of them, though, were the sectors that most affected negatively, of course, during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some indicative needs of the CCI sector are the digitalization, the better cooperation, the creation of new synergies, and strengthening their hard skills of this industry. While some challenges of the tourism sectors are COVID-19, which is a challenge for CCI sector as well, security and safety, economic competitiveness, technological and markets and competition. Now, the pandemic has presented an opportunity for the CCI to move towards a greater digitization and the use of new targeted new technologies such as games industry and virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology. While some mega trends for the tourism sectors that we identified are the globalization and tourism, technological advance and digitization, demographics, climate change, of course, trends that are related to COVID-19, such as safety, personalization, etc. Also, we conducted desk research about the priorities of the European funding programs, and these priorities are summarized here. Most of them are focused on tourism synergies with other sectors such as cultural and creative industries, co-working spaces, new networks, of course, business models for innovation, digitization, and smart development of smart digital content, hubs of entrepreneurship and new cooperations, and of course, enhance CCI skills and market access. Now, taking into consideration all the above and also the ideas that produce within the project and the ideas that we discussed yesterday in the workshop, I will present you some actions according to the rate that I took yesterday. The first action is about the development of a regional accelerator in ADRION area supporting CCI ventures. This accelerator could offer experts with specific knowledge in specific areas that will support the innovative ideas and provide them with the missing expertise. An innovation network in ADRION area that will help to access market, help the applicants to access market. Also some possible funding sources, and this accelerator could also organize some events like networking events in order to enhance the innovation network in ADRION area, and some design thinking networks, workshops, I'm sorry. The second one is about training CCI entrepreneurs to increase economic value of their offering. The main aim of this training could be to increase the holistic capacity building for CCI's industry, to strengthen the capacity in order to connect with other sectors and more specifically with tourism sectors. And the main training could focus on areas such as business planning, pricing, investment, benefit analysis, partnership, etc. The third one is about granting vouchers to cooperation teams consisting of tourism companies and CCI providers. This actions was sparked by the first pilot of the project with some improvements. It addresses to collaborative partnerships of CCI and tourism organization. This could be open to both private and public organizations. And also an additional activity could be the creation of an equivalent regional register of tourism and CCI offering services companies. This activity could facilitate the search of potential partners for the vouchers and other calls. The fourth action is about training employees in tourism sector on including CCI services in their offerings. The main aim of this training could be to meet the hard and digitalization skills of this industry. And the training could focus mostly on horizontal subjects, business and management issues, and of course in the field of advanced digital technologies. And the fifth action is about digitalization of cultural heritage and making it available to a wider audience. The main aim of this action is to involve travelers in the global experience by developing new targeted digital materials such as mobile applications, live stream videos, gamification, maybe a CCI QR travel application as it was suggested in the yesterday workshop, and other types of digitization. And this digital material could be developed either in a standalone model or in connection with existing platforms. A new idea that was suggested in the yesterday workshop was from inspirational awards to experience the undiscovered. Within this action, an event about inspirational award could be organized, and this would include setting up an open call, evaluation of some case studies that will apply, and then organization of award final event. Then after that, bilateral exchange could be organized by BCOs in order to help these cases to go to market. Here are some other actions that we proposed. They took a lower rate. This includes the organization of manifestation events that combine culture and tourism. This is part of the second pilot of the project. Also, another action could be develop and promote a new type of cultural traveler in order to overcome the model of mass tourism. Another action could be support local destination management organizations to create integrated green sustainable destinations and collaborations with other partnerships. And the last one, targeted marketing through social media and influencers. These are the 10 actions that we propose within this action plan. Just a quote for the conclusion about our new type of travelers. As Henry Miller said, one's destination is never a place, but a new way of seeing things. Thank you very much.
You guys have any questions, comments? Because these are things that we discussed yesterday. You agree? Thank you. Okay. No. I don't want to, to ask some things like asking myself, but about methodology, did you feel that the methodology was robust or was adequate enough to come up with all these ideas? What do you think?
Okay. Actually, the project itself was a big tank of ideas and information that helped us to proceed with this action plan. Many ideas were produced in the various events that help us to produce our new ideas. Also, we made research about the trends and the priorities in the EU for these two sectors. And of course, the workshop that took place yesterday was a very good opportunity for us to conclude to the final actions that we proposed today. So I think it was a very good, it's very helpful for us. Okay.
Simple question, but I think it's a good opportunity to, since you are a professionalist, to have your feedback. First of all, I do believe that the techniques of design thinking, all these techniques are really, really useful, and they help to come to see among the chaos sometimes, to see where's the light and where to go. And I guess you experience also this in this project, because we have been sharing something on the course. So my question is, out of, especially yesterday, did you expect that, I mean, first of all, how do you see the results? And how, especially yesterday's activity improved the action plan, the situation, and the view for the future?
Thank you, Claudia. Actually, it's in exercises like this, when you have to develop a set of policies or strategies or action plan or actions, it will be much better to do it with others. And if these others are more significant than you, meaning that you have more experience in the project, you know each other, you know what you offer, you know the assets of CAST and of the hubs. So if the more you collaborate on this, the better. So, but also, as Eleftheria said, for us it was very crucial you have provided us, and Poppy as well, with all the deliverables you have been developed and created. All these deliverables and all these workshops you did was also a systemic knowledge. And that also we got many of these ideas, and we have this methodology of combining the external environment ideas like trends and funding and visions of other organizations, and the internal capacities and assets and needs, and try to make these new ideas. So yes, it was easier for us, even though we followed the project a little bit, but not too much. So it was easier for us to gather all the information, all this knowledge you have developed. And now we had this opportunity to discuss with you our ideas about how we feel. And of course, we already had another idea, as Eleftheria showed, and also we are reversing a little bit the existing ideas to make it more, let's say, more effective towards your needs, and maybe you can use them later for other. So yes, the collaboration with KEPA and of course yesterday's workshop was great. This is a very difficult concept. Creative culture by itself is difficult. Now, if you add it to tourism, that makes it multi-difficult. I mean, extremely difficult, because as we discussed with Goran before, in tourism, if you separate the target market and the big guys with the small guys, if you go to a hotel and you speak to him about CCIs or culture or food, he's going to get mad. He's going to say, I don't care what the fuck are you talking about. I only need to have my bookings. I want my costs down, and you are increasing my costs. You know, there are actions they trying to promote Macedonian breakfast or Greek breakfast, and the producers of these products are small, so their prices are higher, or they may be vegan or whatever, organic, so the prices are higher. So if the average hotel manager pays, for example, €2 the cost for the breakfast, and now you offer him something wow, super wow, that everybody's going to say, the breakfast in the hotel is super Greek, but is 3 times the price. He's not going to buy it. I mean, I know that because I tried it. So this is very, very difficult, and the transformation of the services is going to be huge, but as what you all said, it's a must. And and the clustering and the CAST initiative, again, is something collaborative, which is more difficult. And as this African proverb says, alone I can go faster, but together we can go slower, but maybe we can go farther. So, thanks.
Thank you. One of the key activities of CCI4TOURISM project was the implementation of the pilot actions. During the project, we implemented 2 different pilot actions. The first had to do with vouchers to foster cooperation between the CCI and tourism industry. This pilot action was implemented by 2 project partners, KEPA and FIN. And the second pilot action had to do with the hybridization of CCIs and tourism traditional actors. And this specific pilot action was implemented by 4 project partners, AGRA, RDA Greencast, RAS, and CIDEA. So I would like to ask some people on the stage to share their experience from the implementation of the action, of the pilot action. So I would like to ask Katarina Sekirnik from the development agency SORA, RAS, and also Jano Puskar from the European Affairs Fund of AP Vojvodina, FEP, yes, and also some beneficiaries from the pilot actions. Julia Mlenik-Zeleshnik from the Skofia Local Music Forks. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce the names right. And Magda Treven, that was part of the interactive map Ziri, and also Vaso Tsakiridou from Infinity Greece. That was one of the beneficiaries from KEPA's pilot action. Also, I would like to ask, do we have Sonia Prosen from Project Bella Kappa online with us?
Yes, you have.
Okay, welcome. Okay, please stay tuned. And I would like to ask Kati to give us her presentation of the pilot action.
Which one is it?
It's this one.
Okay.
You can see that.
Yeah,
okay.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. This is already my presentation. Okay. I'm actually very happy that we have this opportunity to share what we actually did, because for me personally, when concrete actions on a field happen and when people meet, that's the magic of our work. And then when you see the results, of course it's a motivation and a learning process also for us that support all these activities. Just to give you the brief introduction in our hub, Creative Hub, a little was mentioned already before. But those who visited, you know our spaces, but actually Škofja Loka, it's a medieval town, so the heritage of craft arts, it's very strong. And in our hub, actually, we connect local masters of craft, designers that are doing textile work mostly. And of course, we connect with other sectors within CCIs, and as tourism is very important, and also RAS as a partner is, we lead the tourism destination organization. Of course, this link of CCIs and tourism already exists, but you see that actually to give these deep connections and concrete actions on the field, these actions were not so good implemented before. So the pilot action that we participated, it was really great experience. And as you will see, we were really happy with the results that we achieved. Not just results for our area was great, but also that we had the opportunity to collaborate with RDA Green Karst, also the partner from the project, because in the project, the pilot action area was whole Slovenia as one region. So it was good that we collaborated with the RDA Green Karst, because on one point we are of course the same, but on the other hand it's completely different situation in the regions, and as turned actually our CCIs and tourism workers also collaborated within the regions. So I believe that was the upgrade of the results. So as said, we did the public call. It was published in February, and then it was out for 1 month. And on our area, I will speak just for RAS results and project proposals. 11 different projects applied, and then we selected 6 out of them. We had a budget of 15,000 euros. And with this pilot action, it was really great that we could upgrade previous work. Even though that some new project applied, but it was great that we had concrete money to concretely support the actions. So yeah, we supported 6 different ones. Most of the projects were 3,000 euros, got 3,000 euros and 100 euros grant, and it was one small project that we supported with 400 euros. I will shortly present all the projects supported, because I believe that these concrete actions, results that happened, and all the people that collaborated, that's the greatest value that, of course, will also stay in the area, and they have a very great potential for development. As mentioned, also Maida is with us. She's one of the hearts of this interactive map of Jiri. you have to understand that our area, it's not super touristic. It's small towns and we can say rural areas. And in Jiri, it's a specific situation where tourism is not professionalized, actually. So they don't have people that would work on a field that would, tourism info point would be open all the time. So they were thinking, what can we do to show actually great cultural, natural heritage of the place, all different galleries, museums, crafts, workshops to the people, even though if we don't have a concrete person working there in the office to share all the information. So they collaborated with the interactive company, Dever, they are called Dever, from Jiri, so they developed this interactive map. You can also go to the website. So it's all the spots, all the monuments, all the routes that you can visit or go to, points of interest, they are digitalized. So you have short description, contacts, also the Google Maps leads you to the certain points and the connections. And what they do, it's not just digitalized, but also in the spot you have these QR codes that actually anytime you can check all the information, even though if the museums are closed or anything, you know, that you cannot enter. So I believe that's also one example for other parks that have similar situation. This is one of the solutions, how to gather all the offer from the area in a digitalized and at the same time live world. Then another project that happened, it's Tourist Souvenirs Houses of Škofja Loka. It was a group of creatives, so the houses, the medieval spirit of Škofja Loka was the inspiration. So they took 5 different houses, the most well-known houses in Škofja Loka, and they took some elements from the facades, from the stuccatures from the houses, and they did graphical redesign, and they implemented that on concrete products, and now these are actually the very modern line of these souvenirs. And at the same time they connected with local writer, and he created the story that connects all these houses, and it's again the upgrade of the heritage that we look every day in completely other version of it. And also it was great because we had 2 different walks for the locals, and it was really great event also for the local, for social meeting, and yeah, it was really great to see it in live. Then it was another idea, the journey of Little Wolf. Actually, this was the team that also participated in all the trainings. So this pilot action project was the upgrade of what they did and developed their offer and business model. So it's they connected with the Tourist Association of Gorje. They are in charge of Vintgar, that's the most touristic natural heritage point in Gorinska region. And they developed the family trip, family route through the valley, and also it's translated in Slovenian English. They did the quiz. When you go home, you also can interact also after the visit of the place. So it's doing this very touristic spot in different and more, how to say, deep content. Yeah, this is another one. Anna Julia Mlejnik-Železnik is with us. She's, as you can see, one of the creators of this very innovative and fully experienced pilot action. It's musical gastronomic evenings, and I believe we have video that we would like to share. Because, yeah, on the video you don't need words, so.
Gre za gastronomsko-glasbeni oziroma glasbeno-gastronomski večer, v katerem bodo obiskovalci imeli eno celostno izkušnjo večera, se pravi večerjo v 4 hodih v izvedbi ekipe Prepepet. Se pravi dobesedno hodi, ker se tu v krčmi Prepepet hodi iz zgornjega nadstropja v spodnje, se pravi v klet, kjer se dogaja pol ta glasba.
Loške glasbene vilice je v bistvu koncept, kot je že Luka rekel, da kombiniramo maksimalno vse čute na nekem drugem nivoju.
Planiramo več različnih dogodkov, ki bodo tematsko obarvani z različnimi stili glasbe, se pravi včasih bo na programu klasična glasba, spet drugič bomo pripravili kakšne recimo etno stile, jazz bo gotovo tudi nekje vmes. In temu primerno, se pravi skladno z različnim glasbenim programom, bo tudi vsakič spremljava hrane in pijače usklajena z različnimi stili glasbe.
Dodamo glasbenim vilicam še žlico.
Yeah, my presentation. Yeah, maybe Anna can explain something more about the project, but yeah, it was a connection of restaurant and this musical association of professional musicians, and it's great that they are really active in a local environment. I would be really glad if my presentation would come back. Because I believe there are 2 more projects that we supported. It was, okay. Yeah. All those projects that I mentioned, they were supported with 3,100 euros. That's not much, but at the same time, it is amount to create the basic boost for the project to come alive. Then we have 2 smaller ones, digitalization of plants in garden Žiri, Kržišnik Žiri. Maybe this is for you, maybe it's not so innovative, but because they digitalized the horticulture, all the plants that they have in the garden. It's really one of the most beautiful gardens in Slovenia because it was designed by a pioneer of landscape architecture, Jutta Krulc, which is she was very well known in Slovenia. And the team that works there, they are also combining this horticulture with gastronomy, with music events. They also have gallery there. And they want to develop educational and touristic programs. So this pilot action of digitalizing everything that they have was really one of the bases that then now they can build up all the programs and develop more. And unfortunately, we didn't have enough money in the pilot action that we could fully support another one, this musical camp that is based in Poljanska Valley. During the summer, kids go to this homestead, and with the professional musicians, they develop music, costumes, and performance, which is actually the end result of these holidays. And the money that we had, we supported a little bit, but fortunately, the team did the whole project anyway. And they are still developing it. When you see professional musicians and kids creating this beautiful, actually really high-level performance in 1 week, it's really amazing. So maybe just to wrap up and to say what we've learned. As I said, it was really important that we had concrete money to support the ideas. So we have a vision to stick with the format and to in a local environment to get funds, to talk with municipalities, that these calls could happen every year, because we were really surprised, if I'm honest, because I was a little scared what will come out, because you never know. But all the ideas, also those that weren't supported, was really high level. And it was really, you can see what the potential is, and because every day we work with these CCIs and in tourism, and still we don't know what's going on the field. So these actions are very important, I would say. And also, the call was designed to encourage this interdisciplinary, to connect concretely tourism and CCIs. And yeah, the results, now in a few minutes it's hard to explain, but I hope you got the feeling. And yeah, we are optimistic for the future calls to be repeated, and also those ideas can be developed more. So I think, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kati. Now, let's hear from the people who actually implemented the pilot projects, their view, how they experienced this whole process, what was the benefit of such kind of cooperation. Julia?
Is it on? Okay. Hello, my name is Anna Julia Mlejnik-Železnik. Thank you for allowing these few minutes to present the project that we did. It was Škofja Loka tuning forks, and the idea is to have these musical gastronomical evenings, as you saw. So at first we just wanted to create a super nice evening for people, but finally we discovered it's also a way to attract people to the classical music. You know, that's also the reason why for the pilot action we chose opera. The myth behind opera is that it's so boring and for old people and for snobs, but it's actually so much fun. Mozart was such a jokester, and the storylines behind it, I mean, it's like watching the worst telenovela, you know, it's really funny. So we wanted to bring this into a place where people can relax, where they can enjoy some great food, have some drinks, and then enjoy this music. And in order for them to understand what exactly is happening, we included storytelling. So between all the areas, we explained what's happening, what the storyline is, what the characters are like. And by the end of the evening, they had their favorite character and they were rooting for one of them, you know? It's really nice. So the model is 4 courses. In between the 4 courses, the music happens. So as you saw in the video, they even had a little walk down and up to refresh their minds. What we didn't expect was the amazing opportunity for immediate feedback, because the artists started mingling with audience. We were all there, and in this relaxed atmosphere, we could immediately hear what they think of it, and of course, get new ideas, but mostly they just really liked it, which is also the reason why we decided to continue with the project. And in the next year, we will be having 5 such events. Each one of them will be a completely different genre. In January, we are starting with historical instruments, old Slovenian music and Baroque music, and also old local recipes for the food part. And yeah, I think it's going to be really nice. So on and on. I think there will be a nice evening for different people. So we hope to get people like that wouldn't usually decide to go for a concert, but are interested in some nice food and having a nice relaxed evening, you know, and then maybe eventually they will say, oh, maybe this classical music is not all that bad. Maybe I can like go sometimes even to a normal concert. Yeah. The last thing would be our wish for the future, which is expanding also to different locations. The model is set and we have all these projects, and it would be really nice if we could repeat them elsewhere as well, as we think it's really nice new experience. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. How about you, Magda? You were involved in developing the interactive map of Jiri, right? Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, my name is Maida Treven, and right now I represent Jiri Tourist Society. Also, my professional work is in culture. I work in library, so I know the problem how to implement culture and tourism in our ordinary lives. Something about Jiri. My hometown, we have about a little less than 500 citizens. It's a small town, and long time ago, or better said, once upon a time, there was a lake in our place. Today, we are a small city, and the most important traditional activities are shoemaking and bobbin lace making activities. A few years ago, we had a slogan, Jiri, a beautiful place at the end of the valley, at the end of the road, and at the end of the world. Today, with your help, with help of CCI4TOURISM, we can say, like Roman says, all roads lead to Jiri, my hometown. Yes. Future, now we have, also I have a little material here, you can take it. Only finances are problem. So here, this project helped us that you can see our beautiful place. We have a green valley with a lot of interesting places. You saw our beautiful garden. We have a Jiri cycling tour. You can come hike. You can ride a bicycle, and also you can eat very good, like here. We have prepared. Also, we have prepared a new path on the, like we have here on interactive map. Is a path from known to unknown. Now is prepared in this also cycling tour from known to unknown. But like I said, we need another project. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to see the passion in you and what you are doing. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and your projects. Now, we're staying in Slovenia, and now we are going to Sonja Prozen from Project Bella Kappa. That was the beneficiary of a project, pilot project from the other Slovenian CCI4TOURISM partner, RDA Green Karst. Sonja, hello again.
Hello, hello.
It's very nice to have you with us, even online. You can start presenting if you are ready.
Okay, I will try to share.
So,
okay, so you
okay.
saw me and Andrei on the second slide, I guess. You did see the photo of Sonia and Andrei? Because I don't see what are you seeing now.
we see you and Andrei now, okay.
Okay, so I just wanted to present us as a couple and as a partner in this project. So now we can move on to the Bela Kappa house slide. So this is actually the project that we were working for the last 3-4 years. We bought this house. It's a neighboring house actually, so it is more than 200 years old. And it was on sale, and we decided, let's do it, let's buy it, and actually it needed a complete renovation. Especially inside, we did everything from the beginning actually. In the meantime, we tried to wrest as much as possible from the old house, from the charm of that the house had. So yeah, it took us 3 years actually, and I would say in the beginning of this year, we come to an end of renovation. And at that time, actually, we saw this call. We got a call from our local RDA, Green Karst Agency, if we want to participate in this project. And of course, we said yes. At that time, so the building was coming to an end, but we were thinking a lot about the web page that we had to build and to promote the business. So actually we applied to the call, and we were happy when we got selected. So we can now move to the next slide, where you can see that we actually built a web page for our business. That was the main thing that was financed from this project. We cooperated with a well-known, good Slovenian design agency. So we wanted the web page to be nice, aesthetic, to have a good user experience, so smooth the booking system, as well as we wanted to point to show the beauty of our region. Our region is also not the most popular in Slovenia, I would say, but we have some really nice things, natures especially. So those were the goals that we were kind of looking for. And I think actually that we did it. Maybe from the innovative point of view, it's not innovative. Every business nowadays needs a web page. But we did really a lot on ourselves during these 3-4 years, and every help counts. And for us, it was a precious help, I would say. So we can now move to our next slide, where I just want to thank you all who made this project possible, especially our colleagues from PILCA, from Green Karst, and all the others actually who participate. And the last line is a welcome. Of course, you're all welcome to visit Slovenia, to visit Bela Kappa. You have some contacts here, so feel free to contact us, and we'll be happy to show you and advise you think about Slovenia. So this is it, yeah? Oh, and this is our video, so enjoy, please. I hope you see it well.
Hiša Bela Kappa se nahaja ob prometni žili med Ljubljano in Reko, oziroma med Brkini in Snežnikom. Po Snežniku je tudi dobila ime. Stara je več kot 250 let in v bistvu se neposredno stika z našo bivalno hišo.
Ko se nama je pred leti ponudila priložnost za nakup, sva jo zagrabila in začela s prenovo. Ohraniti in uporabiti sva želela čim več obstoječih starih elementov, obenem pa je hiška potrebovala svežino in udobnost, ki jo sodoben gost pričakuje. Ves čas prenove sva imela v mislih tudi trajnostni vidik. V pritličju je kuhinja in bivalni prostor ter ena spalnica, v nadstropju pa sta še 2 spalnici in pomožna ležišča v podstrehju.
Ker je Andrej čebelar, jaz pa ustvarjam cvetlične kreacije, sva si želela te najine ljubezni tkati tudi v to mesto. Tako dejansko že zdaj sprehod po hiši gosta popelje v zgodovino kraja in kar nekaj lokalnih umetnikov spozna.
Za hišo je lesena terasa in velik vrt, kateri nudi gostom mir in tudi svežo zelenjavo.
Obnova takih hiš ohranja dušo in podobo kraja in to je tisto, kar si današnji gosti želimo. To si vsi želimo, ko gremo na potovanja. In prav vesela in ponosna sva, da lahko en delček tega ponudiva tukaj v Bela Kapi.
Bela Kapa je postala prijetno zatočišče in odlično izhodišče za odkrivanje okolice.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you.
I really want to go and stay at Bela Kapa.
Please do come, you're all welcome, as I said.
So,
I'm not sure if you saw the subtitles on the video, so yeah, you can find the video on YouTube and see it in peace, but yeah.
Thank you. So, have you already seen the impact and the value of this initiative and this pilot project of CCI for tourism in your case?
Well, yes, I forgot to say that actually we started with the business in June. We went on a market and we had a very successful first year, I would say, very successful summer. The house was rented almost all the time. We mainly had foreigners, so no Slovene guests, but people mostly from European countries. And yeah, they were quite impressed with the house, I have to say, and also with the region surroundings, the nature here in Slovenia. And I'm sure that the webpage and the whole presentation helped, actually. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Stay online. Perhaps there will be some more questions and discussion a little bit later, but now let's talk about the other pilot action that had to do with issuing vouchers of schemes that were formulated from companies and organizations from the cultural and creative sector and also the tourism sector. So, and as I said before, this pilot action specifically was implemented in 2 countries, Greece and Serbia, by KEPA and FEP. So, Jano, from the European Affairs Fund of AP Vojvodina.
Vojvodina.
Yes. Would you like to tell us a few things about this pilot action?
Yeah, thank you, Poppy. As Kathy mentioned, it was really good to see at the end of the project the specific results of the pilot actions, and it was really good to see that it was so successful. We implemented our pilot action together with KEPA, and we had a great cooperation and coordination from Poppy and Angeliki, and support from Anna in implementing this pilot action in proper way and to achieve the proper results. We conducted a regular call for proposals for reaching out to potential applicants. We conducted it was a really big media campaign about it. We had a small amount of time to implement the pilot action, and it was basically done in around 2 months. So 1 month for the call for proposals, and then the second month was intended for the implementation of the selected projects. And we took a bit different approach from KEPA, and at the end we saw that this was really great to see the other perspective on the whole process, and to see what were the benefits and drawbacks from one and the second perspective. And it was really good, and we really saw during the peer review those good and bad things during the pilot action. We implemented our pilot action fully digital, so the call was totally online, and this was really appraised by the users, so they could apply for the call and post all the required information very easily, and to receive momentally to receive a feedback for their application. And at the end we received 10 proposals, selected 5 of them, so each project proposal was financed by 3,000 euros. Where, as we mentioned, we come from Novi Sad and region of Vojvodina, and we received applications from all the region. It's a big region, around 2 million people living. So we were really happy that our pilot action was seen in all of the regions, so it was really good. And after selecting the proposed proposals, we conducted a preliminary meeting with them to see how they will implement their project and to see if they possibly could encounter some problems for implementing their project proposals. So at the end, I think that the whole process was really good, and that we achieved the planned results, and it was a great experience for us also. And I think that in the future it would be really good to replicate this pilot action. Now that we have more experience in it, I think that it would be much easier to predict and to organize another set of similar activities. And at the end, since we didn't brought any of our users of pilot action scheme, I will just present in short what was the idea behind the one pilot action project that we will be presenting. It is a promotional video about it is the Museum of Vojvodina. It's one of the largest museums in the region that has a specific activity that is called theater in the museum, and its goal is to attract children to visit the museum, and they used this voucher scheme to create a video promoting this activity. So at the end we have also the statement from the users. So thank you.
Thank you, Jano, from Vojvodina. Okay. So I guess now we can watch the video with the testimonials from the beneficiaries from the pilot action held in
Hello to everyone from the Museum of Vojvodina in Novi Sad. My name is Slađa and my colleague Tanya, and we were involved in the CCI4TOURISM project. And from the very beginning we were very satisfied because the application form was very easy and clear. Also the reporting form was very easy and clear, so we didn't lose in the time on bureaucracy, but all our energy we focused on creative process.
We have a great cooperation with creative industry and our partner, Plava Naranja, and we have a lot of possibilities of shared brainstorming. Also, we open space for new ideas for cooperation. With professionals in creative industry, every idea can get perfect final touch.
And just for the end, next time, a bit bigger grant. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
Okay. Can we now show the video?
Ima jedno lepo mesto gde odlazim vrlo često. Noge mene same vuku, a kustos mi pruža ruku. Dođi da teatrić gledaš, da se priči divnoj predaš. Lutkica će da ti kažu o prošlosti priču važnu.
Priču važnu, to je muzej Vojvodine. Nemoj nešto da te brine, ovde nije strašni bauk, mada ima koji pauk. Da nas pitaš sve što želiš, da sa nama znanje deliš, da sa nama čuvaš blago, posle će ti biti drago, biti drago. Što je grupa dece veća, veća je i naša sreća. Da drugari tvoji budu od radosti svi u čudu. Ima jedno lepo mesto gde odlazim vrlo često. Noge mene same vuku, a kustos mi pruža ruku. Pruža ruku. To je muzej Vojvodine, nemoj nešto da te brine. Ovde nije strašni bauk, mada ima koji pauk. Da nas pitaš sve što želiš, da sa nama znanje deliš, da sa nama čuvaš blago, posle će ti biti drago, biti drago. Ima jedno lepo mesto gde odlazim vrlo često. Noge mene same vuku, a kustos mi pruža ruku. Dođi da teatrić gledaš, da se priči divnoj predaš. Lutkice će da ti kažu o prošlosti priču važnu. Priču važnu. To je muzej Vojvodine, nemoj nešto da te brine. Ovde nije strašni bauk, mada ima koji pauk. Da nas pitaš sve što želiš, da sa nama znanje deliš, da sa nama čuvaš blago, posle će ti biti drago, biti drago.
Okay, this was a flavor of the pilot action that was implemented in Serbia. So in our case, in KEPA, we implemented the same pilot action of issuing vouchers in schemes consisting of CCIs and tourism companies. We addressed only the private sector in relation to FEP, where also the public sector was involved. We initially launched a call for CCIs in order to enter a register of CCI providers. And following that, we then launched another call that was addressed to tourism companies that had to pick a CCI provider, formulate a scheme, and apply for an innovative project that could get a voucher. At the end, we issued 5 vouchers in 5 schemes of about 5,000 euros each. We believe that through this activity, direct impact and benefit was seen to the companies. And it was a great experience for many reasons, especially during the peer learning with FEP, and while we were also exchanging views and opinions and experiences in relation to the other pilot action as well. We also discussed, after we gathered the feedback from our own beneficiaries and the other beneficiaries as well, what can be done in terms of replicability and sustainability of such kind of initiatives. We believe, I fully agree with Jano, that there are a large perspective in this. And we have with us Vaso Tsakiridou from Infinity Greece, which was one of the companies that took part in one of the voucher schemes. So, Vaso, would you like to share your experience with us? Would you like to? Yes, let me just.
So, yes, hi, I'm Vaso Tsiakiridou. I am, thank you. I'm the marketing director and also a board member of Infinity Greece, which was a CCI provider. So first things first, what is Infinity Greece? We are a social enterprise and we focus on media, digital era and also entrepreneurship, and we do that in two ways. On one hand, we run a youth organization that hosts around 150 volunteers each year, mainly young people from the city, Thessaloniki. And on the other hand, we provide digital marketing services to businesses and also other organizations. So when we first found out about the voucher from a dear colleague of ours, immediately we thought about Dot. We had already collaborated with them in previous projects, we knew them and we trusted them. So, and personally, if you ask me, when you get to collaborate with people that you look up to, it's always like a plus. Especially when they bring innovation to the table. So the amazing team of Dot introduced us to the project Access Simple. So this project was driven by their genuine care for senior citizens and also people with disabilities, both of which are in need of accessible tourism services. So I mean, by hearing all of that, you do realize that like the stakes, you had to match this project, and we had to do a good job. So here's what we did. First of all, we did a strategy plan that included the goals of the project, the ideal customers, the unique selling points, and also we did a bit of research on which markets they should get into first. After that, we recorded 5 podcasts in our studio that we have in our offices, and we designed 3 different emails, like the graphic design, and also we wrote them. And based on that, we created email automations, which means that, for example, you get an email, and if you click on it, you get this email, but if you don't click on it, you get a different version of that. So we set up all the automations that were needed. After that, we also designed an ebook, total of 17 pages. The content was given to us by the team of Dot, and we had to design it and also make the structure make sense. And for all of the above, what we did was create social media posts and stories, and we used a lot of that content to set up and create advertising campaigns using digital tools like the Meta business platform. So after that, what did we gain? Like I've mentioned before, when innovation is on the table, you have to raise up to that level. But the most important thing that our team understood better and we gained was how to make media accessible and how to make social media more accessible. Because there are so many little things that you can't even imagine that can actually make a difference on people's lives. And if we can take small steps to actually make life more easier, more accessible, I mean, why not just do it? Because it's up to every single one of us. And of course, huge love to Kepa, because because despite the limited time, and we did struggle a bit with the time because of in the podcast we had guests, so we had to schedule them based on their schedule and our schedule and Dot schedule, so it was a bit tough for us. And also summer holidays, August, nothing works in Greece in August, so you understand that we did struggle, but the whole team of Kepa was always there to support us and answer every single question we had. So big thank you to all of you guys, and we would be honored to participate in projects like that in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Vaso, thank you. What would you say to a CCI provider that sees in the future a similar call but hesitates and thinks, oh, again, another register or another voucher program? Is it worth to become a part of such kind of initiative?
Well, with the support you provide, yes, of course. But also, it really helps you to see, to dive into more on the things you do. Like, for example, I've been working in the marketing field for around like 5-6 years, and still the things that we learned through this project are amazing and are things that you can never imagine. So if you have good communication and you choose your partners correctly, I think this project is an opportunity that cannot be missed.
Thank you. And I have a question addressed to Kati and Yano, and of course all other partners that run the pilot actions may also answer. What was the benefit and the added value of this pilot action for the partner organizations, the organizations that implemented the process, initiated and ran it and evaluated
As I mentioned before, I mean, the greatest thing that happened is that we had time and money to actually support these interdisciplinary teams. And of course, we got new view on our beneficiaries, because, for example, I didn't know that music and gastronomy would happen in this beautiful project as Anna Julia is presenting. And all these relationships that also stays now, and because during the process we really wanted that also all the participating teams would meet. So we did the introductory meeting, we did the final event where everybody presented also to the public and to themselves, because we believe that usually we work different projects but we don't know for each other. And it's important that all the people that are involved in one action, as this one was, it's important that people meet and that they know for each other. And I believe this knowledge and this experience that we got, that's the most precious for me. And of course that we got new connections with other companies. Also, for example, the interactive Dever team. Actually, they are just a couple kilometers out, super innovative technology company. We didn't know about it. So, you know, for me, that's the greatest value.
Yeah, for us it was similar because we didn't conduct similar activities previously. And the experience we gathered during implementing the pilot action was very precious, and we saw what can we do and what can we implement in the future. But also it gave us another ideas and new ideas about how to support the creative industries, also the tourism sector in the future. So.
Does any other partner would like to share anything, or a comment or a question? Okay, thank you very much for sharing your experience, all of you, and also Sonia from the online connection. Thank you very much. Now we are approaching to the final phase of today's final event, and we have a closing speech by Dottoressa Francesca Imperiale, who is Associate Professor of Business Administration and expert in CCI's management from the University of Salento, who unfortunately could not be here with us, but we have her presentation, and I would like to ask to put the video on.
Good day, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very pleased to give the concluding speech at your final event. So let me start sharing my screen and presentation. In my speech, I'll try to offer you a picture of the contemporary opportunities and challenges to link tourism and culture and creative industries, hoping to inspire future development for your project. I'll briefly introduce the topic of tourism, culture and creative convergence across time in order to trace the contemporary shift from culture tourism to creative tourism and the progressive diversification in the involvement of culture and creative sector, thus to highlight the main opportunities and challenges in making these synergies effective according to the most recent development. It is well known to all that tourism and culture are two highly interlinked fields. One of the key ideas in identifying any synergies between these two sectors is that the connection between tourism and culture can generate mutual benefits. Culture therefore provides content for tourism, allowing country regions to differentiate themselves, and tourism provides culture with a new outlet for cultural institution, product and content. And this relationship has been further bolstered with the rise of creative economy. This convergence has proceeded through different stages of transformation, as shown in this slide. In fact, we can identify three basic phases of development over the centuries, as well as a further phase, the current one, which is the resulting trend induced by the acceleration in the global demand for green and digital transitions. Culture tourism 1.0 emerged during the Grand Tour and was characterized by the educational role of classic culture, such as the sites of ancient Rome and Greece. Then the boom in tourism and in the economic downturn in the late 90s led the cities to see culture as a new economic engine, and the mass tourism became a means of channeling expenditure to cultural destinations. Culture tourism 2.0 become the new oil of countries in wealth of tangible heritage sites to exploit in attracting cultural tourists. Then, with the development of internet and the communication technologies, cultural tourism 3.0 saw the empowerment of consumers in producing their own culture, using the internet and social media. Tourists themselves began to guide their fellow tourists by posting on websites such as TripAdvisor. Local residents become directly involved in the provision of accommodation experience through the rise of Airbnb. Thus, we can identify shifts in the role, the power, position of the actors, as well as the context in which cultural tourism practice is unfolded. This process has been accelerated by the digital boost induced by the COVID crisis, as well as by the growing demand for circular tourism to reduce the ecological footprint. And we can say that in the new millennium, we are experiencing a new model of cultural tourism, so that cultural tourism 4.0 namely the creative tourism, resulting from disrupting innovations in the production and consumption processes of both culture and tourism. The shift from cultural tourism approach to a creative tourism one means conceiving in a different way the process of value creation in tourism, which now originate from synergies with diverse industries and actors operating in the creative, culture, and cultural tourism sectors. Product-based cultural tourism is now supplemented by new structure based on creative content that can be supplied across a range of different challenge platforms. The provision of information also changes from a broadcast model of interpretation of culture toward collaboration with the consumer through co-creation of knowledge. The need to work together with consumers, residents, and others to develop value in the creative tourism system leads to a shift toward a wider value networks rather than restrictive value chain, and the production value also moves toward the downstream distribution and application of content rather than the upstream content generation. In this evolution of cultural tourism, we see a number of shifts from a focus on tangible assets, namely heritage sites, to intangible heritage assets, to contemporary knowledge, from top-down to bottom-up processes, from supply-driven development to consumer-led development to co-creation, and from public subsidy to market. On September, the G20 Tourism Group identified various benefits from this shift, such as increasing tourism demand or changing tourist profile by generating new and engaging tourist experiences and rising awareness of lesser-known locations. Second, generating higher value added by supporting the preservation of local heritage, stimulating innovation by adding creative impulses and new technology to tourism development, and challenging the creative industries to find a new way of managing tourism and improving tourism business operations. Driving exports through products that link creative content, place, and culture in order to increase the general level of interest in local creativity and stimulate tourist visitation. Knowledge and skill development as a result of increasing contact between creative and tourism industry professionals, between producers and consumers, and between consumers and residents. And the last, job creation through establishing places as nodes in creative networks. This new model has a number of important policy implications. The main impacts are linked with the access to the key resources that now are knowledge and technology, with the participatory governance model capable to bring together different industries and sectors, as well as producers with consumers and places. Then the ability to innovate business models in both sectors, as well as to diversify funding tools according to a multi-actor approach. More in details. Creative tourism operates with a symbolic knowledge base and promotes the integration of technology and new media into the tourism experiences. Apart from the sector-specific of both tourism and culture and creative industries, to better leverage value generations at the nexus between tourism and culture, digital skill gaps are a growing concern in both sectors. And moreover, adapting to digitalization requires a substantial shift in business model, which can be challenging to enact without sufficient business skills and financial resources. Here, innovation generally relies more heavily on tacit and context-specific cultural knowledge, requiring greater acceptance of risk experimentation and flexible innovation strategies, as well as project-based collaborative innovation endeavors with businesses collaborating with suppliers, customers, competitors. Usually, this kind of innovation remains hidden in the policy frameworks. Moreover, the value creation mostly depends on the generation and exploitation of intellectual property. In this context, intellectual property protection enables businesses to capture value from these products, either through sales or through licensing their intellectual property to other actors. Of course, protecting intellectual property is a big challenge because negotiating royalty and licensing deals, collecting revenues, and taking legal action against infringement requires substantial skills and resources, as well as piracy represent a significant issue for creative businesses. Furthermore, such a transition from cultural tourism to creative tourism encompasses three main challenges at governance level. First, it requires dedicated policies and governance structures which result from the convergence in the policy design and implementation in a cross-sector and a cross-border vein. This entails the need for coordinated strategies that capitalize on synergies between culture and tourism goals, as well as coordinated governance structure which bridge policy department and engage with both culture and creative as well as tourism stakeholders, at the same time fostering collaboration among different cities, towns, and places. Consequently, this poses the need for developing and implementing hybrid organizational arrangements. Specifically, the nature of creative tourism is complicated as it involves the interaction and the interdependence of various sectors and actors, requiring different organizational forms that enhance network and cluster development. Establishing a network can help to link actors within and between the two sectors, while cluster may function as an important node in these networks. And these are organizational mechanisms that can be formal or informal, as well as that can be emerge in a bottom-up manner or be developed in a top-down fashion. In undertaking such a coordinated approach, data, of course, would be helpful to guide the policy action. In this regard, there remains a need for better data on the value of culture and creative sector to tourism and vice versa, as well as public authorities have to equip themselves with ad hoc information system grasping tailored information about local culture and creative industries, dynamics, attitudes, and needs. As for finance, we know that both tourism and culture and creative enterprises are small and micro enterprises suffering the challenge of undercapitalization and the difficulty of obtaining third-party financing sources. Access to finance remains a big challenge for three main reasons. The first one deals with the mindset and the management capability of creative people. In this regard, there remains a general lack of entrepreneurial culture and management skills in various fields such as financial management and corporate finance strategies, as well as intellectual property right management. Creative people and talents do not understand. Sometimes they refuse to accept the business and the market languages, and at the same time they lack financial resources to hire qualified staffing to support them in running their activities. Thus, information sharing and capacity building using ad hoc information and advisory services remain crucial. The second reason deals with the conventional forms of funding or investments, which appears inadequate in supporting the specific financial needs of these enterprises. Specifically, as for the public funding, the main concern regarded the entry requirements which foreclose the access to organizations operating such as in the form of social enterprises or as freelancers. And moreover, the eligible activities do not include soft innovation. While for the private funding such as bank credit or equity finance, the main challenge relates to the risk aversion of financial institution and private investor. This aversion mainly depends on the lack of risk assessment protocols capable to assess the intangible nature of the value creation process and the complexity of the value chain of this enterprise. Thus, innovating with a tailored approach is a first step to remove the existing barriers to access finance. Finally, the third one relates to the emergence of a new funding paradigm induced by the digital transition, which steps away from a clear demarcation between public and private in terms of interest and financing modes. This new paradigm embraces collaborative funding mechanisms such as crowdfunding, social funding, or other pooled investments, as well as digital fundraising technologies that facilitates new modes of asset finance and tokenized funding, which for sure require testing and clear and stable regulatory frameworks. In conclusion, unlocking the potential of profitable synergies between tourism and culture and creative industries today require an ecosystem approach which relies not only on traditional business measures such as incubation or acceleration or access to finance and preferable business regulation, but rely on fostering environments for entrepreneurship to thrive. This involves coordinated policy in a range of different areas, as well as both direct and indirect support. In considering the main issues in which these synergies face challenges, there are at least 4 primary areas to work on in coming future. Capacity building, that is ad hoc service for information, advice, coaching, and mentoring on diverse matters, such as managerial, financial, digital literacy and competence, data to support policy and decision making, and so on. Second, education training in terms of modernizing the education system and developing training and peer-to-peer programs to fill the skills shortage. Third, access to finance, that is developing ad hoc tools in a multi-actor vein. And the last, networking and collaboration, which means not only creating spaces for encounters, cross-fertilization, and multi-way complementarities, but fiercely working in removing the silo mentality, raising awareness about the impacts to working together, and developing tools to facilitate the interface at a very effective operational level. So I conclude. Many thanks for your attention. I wish you a successful follow-up for your discussion and future project.
Okay, that was the key closing speech. Before we say goodbye, let's summarize some key points of all the events, Okay, Stavros. Okay.
Okay, are you hungry? No. I have like 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 pages, 50 minutes. No? Okay. I have a slide. Thanks all for your patience with me. I myself not too patient, and I have a lot of energy, sometimes not very good for me. Now, can you move to the next slide? Okay, just one slide, thanks. It's just 5 points. First of all, I would like to say to you that even though I'm following the projects for some time, I was impressed with your outputs, with your results. And not only from the speeches of the partners, because I know I'm a partner myself. Sometimes I exaggerate. I say things that actually are not exactly the truth. But yes, I do. But from the mouths of the people who actually were beneficiaries, from Italy, from Greece, from Slovenia, from Serbia, where am I forgetting? So I get the sense that you, as a project, you have been able to success, and you have great assets. And these assets are your initiative, your hubs, your strategies, the policies, even not in this project I saw in the cluster one, the actions, a nice company did them, and the systemic knowledge acquired, and you guys are the asset for the next steps. I believe that even though you are building a strategy, I believe that this strategy must be a long-term. You should go ahead and develop a strategy for the next 12 years. It means, why is that? Because the framework closes 2027. In some countries, you need 1 to 3 years to finalize. So 2030 is around the corner. And there are so many innovations are maturing. I believe that you should be able to make a very draft strategic plan for 2035 and decide on the milestones, make a roadshow, make a roadmap on which proposals are going to submit in which projects, in which programs. This is crucial. Third, there's a lot of innovation in this area still. A lot of things are going on in the laboratories of research centers, not only in terms of ICT, also in material, also in psychology, also in environment, because traveling and culture and tourism involves environment, and this is important. And also, as you said, with COVID, with epidemiology, so you have to make your mind in your mind that these things are going to be challenging. Again, you decided to start small and in rural. This is great, and this is great. I mean, this is great, but you should have also in mind that you should go for the international markets and to the niche markets. Someone, I don't know who was that, discussed yesterday about the silver economy, the people that are aging, that's important. Today I saw some case here. So try to focus on specific big markets, but in middle and higher incomes. Don't go with the whole thing. You are doing that. And finally, another great comment you made. You are trying to develop an agile management structure. And as Claudia said before, she's in 2027 closing her eyes. Some stakeholders are not involved in CCI4TOURISM number 3, but some are the leaders. So involving the leadership, everybody, all of you. And this is my closing remark. Thanks, it was a great and aspiring event for me, and I hope it was for you as well. I got many ideas for the action plan and for other projects as well. Also the professor, I don't know if she's with us, she gave us a lot of the ground for theory that we can build upon, but for the actions now. And again, we're glad to be here. You guys came to Thessaloniki, and I hope to travel also to the other states in the near future. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Stavros. I would like to thank you all, the speakers, the presenters, you all participants who came here, to all of you that have been watching us online through live streaming. I hope that this is not the end, but the start of a new future. Let's continue our contact and our cooperation. I would say have a great time the rest of the afternoon in Thessaloniki. The weather is not that good, but anyway, enjoy. Thank you. Yes, let's have a family photo now. Well done.